Kim. My boyfriend calls, the crowd bending to his will as he surges toward me, everyone making way for the captain of the varsity football team. Keenan. I run to him as well, falling into his arms and leaning up to peck his cheek. You'll be at the game later tonight, right, babe? Wouldn't miss it for the world, I reassure him, though the Blackhawks game is on the same time, and I largely prefer hockey. I also have a few tests I should study for, but, as usual, I make a sacrifice. Meet you at your locker in 5. Sounds good, he nods, leaving me to gather my books. We walk out of the school, hand in hand, our arms swinging in sync. He opens the car door for me. I smile and say thanks, and then he moves to the driver's seat. My home isn't very far from the school, but Keenan insists on driving me. As much as I enjoy being with him, I love the outdoors, and it would be nice to walk home and then. Babe, we're here. My attention is wrenched from my thoughts and back into reality. See you later, I yell back over my shoulder. Entering the front door, I slip off my shoes, noticing a filthy, worn pair of black sneakers that I've never seen in my life. I shrug, assuming they belong to some weird friend of my father's. He brings home old acquaintances often. I bounce into the kitchen, expecting to see some 40-something-year-old man. Instead, a very fine-looking guy is sitting at the kitchen table, drumming his tan fingers on the top of the chair next to him. I can feel my eyes widening at the shock. This cannot be my dad's friend, and try to refrain from revealing my presence. I back slowly out of the kitchen, but a low chuckle stops my progress. I peek my head around the corner, and the random dude is staring at me, laughing. I, however, am not so amused. Who are you and what are you doing in my kitchen? I snap, annoyed with his easy, cocky demeanor. He simply gapes at me for a while, seeming to fight for control of himself. He shakes and shudders, clutching the table. Right when it's really starting to freak me out, is he having a seizure or something? Should I call 911? He relaxes, calm and collected. He whispers something that sounds an awful lot like mine, which creeps me out even more. Finally, he answers my question. Whoa there, he mutters, lifting his hands in surrender. Your mother invited me in. Kim, my mother rushes into the kitchen. I hope you weren't rude to our guest. Strangely, her hair is wild, her manner is flustered. It isn't like my mother to be unprepared for entertaining company, even unexpected visits. Of course not, mother dearest. I say in the sweetest tone I can muster. She catches the underlying sarcasm and gives me a glare before turning to the mystery man. Riker, she searches for the proper term to place after his name. Sir, is there anything you desire to be comfortable? Sir, I scoff, rolling my eyes. Her eyes widen, pinning me with another warning stare. Yes. He narrows his eyes. You can call me Riker. No thank you, Mr. Riker, sir. I reply flippantly. A glass of water would be great, Hope. Hope. That's my mother's name. There is no way they are on a first-name basis. That's Mrs. Krelk to you. I press my lips together after this comment to refrain from saying another disrespectful comment. He slowly turns around in his chair, his expression terrifyingly blank. I can see you will have to learn some respect. He growls, gritting his teeth together. I can see that you are really annoying and full of yourself, so state your business or get out. I say bluntly. Instead of getting angry, he laughs. I hope he didn't think I was kidding. That was not a joke, I inform him. You're a feisty one, I like that. He scans my body approvingly. I feel a blush rise to my cheeks, my face warm. The door is that way. I point to it. He gets up, but instead of leaving, he circles me. Something inside me stirs. He smells so darn good, and any sassy response I might have flies out of my head, abandoning me in my moment of need. I wait for him to speak, because I'm afraid if I open my mouth, I might start drooling. Your wolf is a strong one, correct? He glances at me for confirmation. With your alpha blood and all. Wolf. Alpha blood. What? I murmur dumbly. You mean she doesn't know? He gapes at my mother. And no alpha aldane. Mr. Riker, sir. She squeaks. What don't I know? I demand. You're a werewolf. I laugh outright. Very funny. I don't actually know why you're here, but I don't have time for your stupid jokes. A small silence dropped. You have to leave. A friend is coming over. He nods. I'll be back later. Later that evening, Brinley and I were sitting in my room. Time to pretty you up. Brinley mumbles, mouth full of brownie. Fine, but it's warm outside, so don't try to put me in a sweater like you did before. I glare at her. Sorry, she giggles, sounding remarkably unrepentant. After curling my brown hair, which I had just straightened this morning, they waste another 20 minutes picking out an outfit. Sunglasses. Really? I raise an eyebrow. I know you hate them, but at least bring them along for effect. Brinley, you're a dork. But you love me. My passion for you is unquenchable. I say dryly. Now hand me a darn brownie. She tosses me one. We should go if you want to see Keenan before the game, Ella. A Shallon, responsible as usual, lets us know. I respond to the familiar nickname. Alrighty. Good luck. I say formally, punching him in the arm gently before leaving for my seat. Well, trying to. Keenan interrupts my progress by grabbing my arm. No good luck kiss. I roll my eyes and submit pecking his cheek. Better. Movie after the game. I want to, but I remember the strange guy and my mother at my house. No sorry. Have some stuff going on at home right now, but you can still drive me if you want. Okay, babe, see you then. We win 28-9, though the team we played wasn't particularly hard one to beat. I congratulate my boyfriend, and he smiles and proceeds to drive me home. Upon entering, I am greeted by a very angry Riker. Who was that guy? My boyfriend, I say smugly. You what? He shouts, doing that weird convulsing thing again. No need to get so angry about it. I'm confused with his possessive behavior. What does it matter to him? He marches into the kitchen, yelling at my mother. You let her have a boyfriend. This does not honor the agreement in the least. What were you thinking? Agreement? I query, stepping into the kitchen. The room freezes. Kim, we have some things to tell you. My mother stares at the ground, her tone gentle and quiet, which almost certainly means bad news. Kimmy, your father and I aren't your biological parents. What? I stammer. Very rarely am I rendered speechless, but this is far worse than I had anticipated. Just wait, there's more. Wonderful, I think sarcastically. You, in fact, are a werewolf, as Riker here already tried explaining. I scoff in disbelief. She fixes me with a stern glare. Believe it, your real parents were the leaders of one of the strongest packs in North America. Unfortunately, they are dead now. I suck in a breath. I hadn't known. I'd been hoping to meet them until this moment. The news shocks me and leaves me disappointed. My sense of loss is not overwhelming. It's a detached affection, like one you might feel when you go to a funeral for one of your distant relatives you've never actually met. On second thought, why was I believing this trash? Werewolves don't exist. Anything else? Both Riker and my mom seem surprised at how calmly I'm handling this news. To be honest, I'm surprising myself. Of course, I definitely don't believe the part about me being a werewolf, though. I am curious about what Riker could have possibly said to my mother to make her believe this. Yes. The agreement we discussed earlier. It stated that if you and Riker ended up being mates, which Riker informed me you are, when you came of age, that is, 16, you would marry and join the packs together. This is the moment I flip out. Me marry him? No thank you. Riker looked deeply offended. And you will be spending this summer with his pack. My mom continued, her tone may be gentle, but I know from experience that it leaves no room for argument. No way. There is absolutely no possible way I will ever agree to this. I argue anyway. Unfortunately, it isn't your decision to make. I already have plans. I say. Why didn't you tell me earlier? I asked. I should have. It was my mistake and your father's as well. Dad knows too. I yelp. Married couples don't keep secrets from each other, something you ought to keep in mind. My dad came inside. Not funny, I said. And you're just going to let this insane teenager we don't even know kidnap me for a whole summer. You don't even know him, I shouted. Actually, he's the alpha of our pack. We're certain you'll be safe with him. My mother responds, eyes steely. She isn't about to back down either. Why insane? Riker asks, because of course he just has to have his question answered. Why insane? Why insane? My voice heightens to a shrill pitch. You think you're a freaking wolf. That's because I am a wolf, he shouts. He begins to growl, shudder, and shake again. Anger management. I mutter, and this sends him over the edge. His clothes rip as he transforms into a wolf. Holy crap, okay. So maybe, just maybe, this wasn't total nonsense after all. Beautiful, isn't he? A longing voice inside my head says. This startles me, and I study everyone's faces, but no one seems to have heard the voice. No one except me. I can do nothing but stand here in shock, partially because there is a wolf in my kitchen, and partially because random voices are popping into my head. Not particularly. I think back. To my surprise, a growl forces its way out of my throat. That's our mate. We do not insult our mate. The voice comes again. Foolishly, I entertain the voice, conversing with it. He's not my mate, and maybe you don't, but I do. Another growl escapes my mouth. Who are you anyway? Your wolf. The mysterious voice replies. Suddenly, my mom speaks up, actually sounding commanding instead of scared to break any of Riker's rules. Riker, change back now. He begins to shrink back to his normal size, and to my horror, he ends up unclothed. Quickly, I cover my eyes. After a few minutes, my dad reassures me that he's fully dressed. Thank goodness. I murmur, though my wolf, as the voice calls itself, is having different thoughts. Wouldn't I know if we were mates? I wonder aloud, hoping to distract my mind from the image of Riker's physique. You do, and you're just denying it. Riker speaks up. You refuse to admit it to yourself. I am not. I say stubbornly. Are too. Oh yeah. My voice now includes an underlying annoyed tone. Yeah. He says, taking a threatening step closer to me. Well, I think you're wrong. Oh yeah. He mocks me, getting so close I can smell him. It's intoxicating, his scent, and all I want to do that moment is smell him and smell him and smell him. The scent, his scent tingles my nose when I inhale deeply, jolting through me and encouraging me closer still. He smells so good, doesn't he? The interruption of my wolf helps me to realize that I had just taken a trip to La La Land. Coming to my senses, I place a hand on Riker's chest, surprising him so that he stiffens, then relaxes, thinking I have romantic intentions. That is, until I push. He stumbles backwards and hits the corner of my refrigerator, gawking at me, a mixture of annoyance, confusion, and surprise written across his face. Kim. My mother gasps in shock. I don't think so, wolf boy. I smirk and leave the kitchen. Everyone lets me go, but I do hear a just you wait from behind me. So, can I talk to you whenever? I reach out to my wolf. Yeah, that's the idea of us sharing a mental connection and a soul. My wolf remarks snarkily. Can we do what Riker did? Morph into a wolf? I ask, while I grab some clothes and put them in a bag. Sure. Her tone is demure, but I can tell she's excited at the prospect. I head to the window. I slowly ease it open, wincing at every creak. I slide out onto the roof. My feet hit the ground with a thud, and I set off jogging. I reach my intended destination. The large forest. Okay, how do I do this? Don't be so uptight. It's not like there's a set of rules. Well, you're a feisty one. I tell her, my laughter spreading throughout the empty forest. I have to be, to deal with you. Okay. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I think I can hear my wolf snicker. Focusing, I picture Riker. With a gasp, I make a face as I feel my own bones start to transform. Holy crap, this isn't real. I gasp as I change from a human to a wolf. I open my mouth to try and speak, but only a bark comes out. I picture myself changing back to a human, and soon enough, the transformation is complete. I hurry back home feeling extremely exposed. When I get back home, Riker is gone to my relief, and I fall into my bed asleep within a minute. My last week of freedom, I kept dating Keenan. Against my mother, father, and Riker's wishes. I mean, let's be honest, it's my life and my choices. Some freaky dude isn't going to show up and control everything I do. Riker shows up at my door with his car, a rusty old Jeep that I love on sight. Maybe I'll steal it and use it to escape. I'm not going. I argue with my mother. Yes, you are. She glares at me. You cannot, absolutely cannot, force me to do this. It's like kidnapping. He's taking me somewhere I don't want to go, I shout. You have to. My dad says. Nope, too bad, I am not doing this. I huff, stomping up the stairs back to my room and locking the door. Kim, you're going to have to eventually. My father calls. No, actually I don't, I mutter. And then Riker breaks down the door. That's my door, I yell at him. Not even bothering to ask him how he did that. Most likely some werewolf thing that I don't understand. And that's your bed, and that's your window. He replies, pointing out objects. Get out, only if you come with me. No way. I laugh outright. Then you leave me no choice. He shrugs, not seeming overly disappointed. He scoops me up and throws me over his shoulder, heading downstairs. Put me down, you oaf. I holler, pounding his back and trying to kick him, but my legs are being firmly trapped underneath his arms. I grind my teeth together. I need to get away from this creep, so I use one of the things he wouldn't expect. My teeth. I wait until we reach the bottom, then sink my teeth into his shoulder. He curses and loosens his grip, giving me the opportunity to smash my head into his nose. He lets go of me. So long, sir. I snicker as I run through the house and to the back door. The back door that my father is blocking. Dad, move. I screech, trying to shove past him. Strong arms encircle my waist, and though I twist and jerk, I can't make any progress. So I give my father the death glare. No can do, sweetheart. You'll thank me in the end. He grins. Yeah, all parents say that. I grumble. Riker carries me to the car, and I fight him all the way. He sets me in and turns on the engine. You're forgetting something, doofus. What now? He groans, shoving his face into his hands. My bags, I say. I've got them. I chirp and jump out of the car, poising myself to escape. He leaps out with inhuman speed and steps in front of me. Good try. I narrow my eyes. You aren't touching my bags. How do I know you won't run away? Because I have a bunch of heavy suitcases, idiot. I roll my eyes. How do I know you won't drop them and run for it? Because I like my suitcases. I'll carry your suitcases for you. No way. I refuse his offer, somehow handling all of them and hauling them to the Jeep myself, practically throwing them in the trunk. He tries to help put them in, except I spit at him. Yes, literally spit. Gentle, he mutters, staring at his truck worriedly. As if I care. I get in the car, slamming the door extra hard for no other reason than making him angry. As we pull away, I try to open the door, but he's locked it. I huff, and he grins. The first 5 minutes are an awkward silence that I am completely unwilling to break. What's your real name, anyway? Riker asks. You can call me Kim. I didn't ask what I could call you, Han. I asked what your real name is. People call you different things, from Kim to Ella to Bree, even to Bella, and I'm confused. Too bad. So sad. I set my mouth in a straight line, cross my arms, and stare out of the front in the car. We pull into a long driveway where a magnificent house sits up on a hill. I hop out of the car, open the trunk, and grab my bags. A guy, who seems to be a little older than Riker, sidles his way up to the car. You're going to let her carry her own bags. That's not very gentlemanly. Shut it a listen, she doesn't want help. Riker says. What's your name? He asks. Kim. I say emotionlessly. Well, Kim, would you like some help? I nod just to make Riker mad. I really enjoy making him angry. As we walk towards the house, I start an awkward conversation. So your name is Alyson, he nods. I'm the beta here. Beta? I ask. He stops walking, expression shocked. You don't know, no. Do you know anything about being a werewolf? About pack life? I shrug. Nope, not really. The beta is the second in command to the alpha, the delta is the third. You're the mate of the alpha, which makes you the Luna, or in different words, the queen of the pack. We reach the house, and are greeted by another man, who is probably a tad bit older than me, 19 perhaps. I'm Trey Fearing, the delta. He extends a hand to me. Third in command, I say uncertainly, reaching out to shake it. He nods. And this is my beautiful mate, Cynthia. He brings forward a really pretty girl, around my age, so when I see a ring on her finger, I almost fall over. Hi, she says shyly. I'm Kim. I smile. Nice to meet you. Trey ends the conversation and walks down the hallway with Cynthia. They seem happy about everything. Is that what Riker and I are supposed to be like? I wonder, with a bit of longing. Which room is mine? My volume goes up a few decibels. As a tradition, you'll share a room. Alyson informs me, as we reach my room where Riker is waiting. Nuh-uh, there is no way I'm sharing a room with him. The beta is shocked by my behavior, and he glances at Riker. You will sleep here with me. Riker growls firmly. Unfortunately for him, I have no intention of agreeing, and he isn't as intimidating as he thinks he is. No, thank you. I refuse calmly. Just take her to some other darned room, he thunders at the poor beta. Kim. He whispers, yells. You cannot talk to the alpha like that. I can and I will, and oh, that's right. I just did. I reply stubbornly, narrowing my eyes. We drop my bags into the empty room, and I ask him to lead me to the kitchen. He just shakes his head in disbelief at my actions, and then nods. Arrived at the kitchen, at least 20 other people are sitting in the room. Is that the new Luna? A voice asks. What's her name, and when is the wedding? Questions flood in from every direction. Stop attacking the poor girl. This is Kim, and yes, she's the new Luna. I open my mouth to disagree, but he gives me a warning look. The wedding. He coughs uncomfortably, and I offer no help. We aren't sure. A woman older than me, maybe about 30, grasps my hand. Thank goodness for you, darling. What do you mean? I tilt my head. It's common knowledge that when an alpha finds his mate, he'll be much less prone to mood swings and violent fits of rage. You'll be able to calm him down. And of course, you're the last heir of the Canterbury pack. I feel bad that I'll disappoint her when it comes to Riker's temper. So, my real last name is Canterbury. Interesting. I like the ring of it. Are there any peaches in here? I ask, having a craving for fruit and wanting peach. No, someone speaks up. The alpha doesn't like peaches. Well, that's nonsense. I furrow my eyes. Just because he doesn't like them doesn't mean the rest of us shouldn't have any either. There are a few gasps at my comment. Where's the phone? Another anonymous stranger hands me the phone. Here. Thanks. Not really paying attention to the person, I try to remember a grocery store that delivers to people's homes. Does anyone know a place that will be willing to bring us some peaches? A random person shouts out the name and number of a peach farm. How they know this off the top of their head, I don't know, and I shout back thank you, dialing the number. Is this the Hopkins Peach Farm? Yes, would you like to order some peaches? I'll take a pound of peaches to be delivered to. I trail off, then cover the receiver with one hand. What's the address of this place? Another person helps me out, and I tell the lady the address, finish the conversation, and hang up. They'll be here tomorrow. I inform everyone. I'm going to unpack now. Nice to meet you all. Alyson follows me out of the room. The alpha won't be happy with this. The alpha doesn't control everything we do. Actually, he does. He doesn't control everything I do. I roll my eyes. He thinks he does, but he doesn't. You really should be more respectful of him, he warns me. You sound like my mother. That's my job. Oh, there is also a pack party tonight to honor you, so be ready in. He checks his watch. An hour and look decent. I hate parties. I groan in annoyance, ignoring the fact that he implied I didn't already look decent. Was there something wrong with my ratty, grass-stained jean shorts or my white t-shirt? I mean, yes, it has a few stains, but it's comfortable. Really? He looks at me in surprise. Ones with a lots of people, like the ones my boyfriend always has. You have a boyfriend. Alyson stares at me. Yes, Beta. I didn't even know I was a werewolf until a week ago, and I'm not breaking up with my boyfriend simply because some stupid agreement said so. You really are something. He shakes his head again. You'll have to appear happy with Riker and be with him the whole evening. Heck no. I stare at him as if he was crazy. We can't even say 2 words to each other without getting angry. Just be civil. He sighs. I'll try. I mumble, not really intending to be civil. Good, see you then. I pace around the room. None of the dresses I had brought exactly screamed future Luna. What if they hated me, discovered that I wasn't fit to be class president, much less the co-leader of a giant pack like this one? I would never learn everybody's name. About ready to pull my hair out, I stop everything that I'm doing. Why do I even care what everybody thinks? It's not like I'm really going to end up as Luna anyway. I'm escaping first chance I get. Grabbing a short green dress that I know is comfortable, my leather bracelet, and my favorite pair of Converse. I slip it all on, and then fix my hair into a messy side braid. Good enough, I think to myself as I examine my outfit in the mirror. Taking a deep breath and composing myself, I step outside the room, ready to take on the pack. Oof. The exclamation escapes my mouth as I bump into someone. I move my face from its current position, smashed up against a hard chest. Of course, I don't even need to see the face to know who it is. I'd know that scent anywhere. Riker. I sigh. What are you doing here? Chivalrously, he extends his arm, and though the wolf in my head is screaming, take it, I ignore the gesture, walking in front of him. I can hear a small growl of frustration from behind me as he follows me. I came to escort you. Next time, don't. I have to. You're my mate. Does it really matter that much? He grabs my shoulder and whirls me around to face him. I get a little dizzy then, not at the spinning but at his scent. Does it matter to you that I would die to save you? You're a part of me, Kim, and though you may do your best not to feel the same way, I know you do, deep down inside. I try not to swoon at his adorable declaration. Kimbriella. I murmur. What? That's my full name, Kimbriella. Wait, what? Kimbriella, Kimbriella. He rolls the name around his tongue, testing it. I like that. Why did I tell him that? Good, because I wasn't going to change it. I say, ruining the moment. I step in front to lead again, but after 5 minutes, I realize I'm lost. Riker. Yes, Kimbriella, don't call me that. It's a beautiful name, very fitting. I sigh again, bending to his will a bit, but ignoring the compliment. I blame the stupid mate bond. Only in private. Deal. He confirms. I think I'm lost. I know, he chuckles. I was waiting for you to admit it. I glare at him, which only makes him chuckle more, and let him lead the rest of the way. He guides us out of the house into the backyard, which I haven't yet seen or had time to explore. The grass we walk on is short and recently cut, but farther out, the grass begins to grow high and wild. It literally stretches as far as I can see, and I want to forget all about this party and simply run. But I don't want to shift and ruin the dress. It's one of my favorites. Not to mention all of the pack or whatever it's called is here, and they would catch me in 2 seconds. On both sides of the field, there are 2 separate forests that go on as far as the fields. I make a mental note to scour them for wild berry bushes when I find time. I'm then stricken with a sudden craving for wild blackberries. Kimbriella, this isn't private, Riker, I hiss. Sorry, oh, whatever. The point is, I have completely forgotten all my manners. What do you mean? I'm a little suspicious now. I didn't tell you how beautiful you look. I'm on the verge of blushing, and blushing at anything Riker Aldane says is entirely unacceptable. Plus, he did try to say it earlier. So I insult him and change the topic. You never had any manners to forget. I stick out my tongue childishly. Is there any food here? Not waiting for an answer or response, I wander away. You're welcome for the compliment. He remarks, following me. I didn't say thank you. I inform him. He grunts in annoyance. Why do you always have to be so stubborn? Just accept the compliment. Don't tell me what to do, I warn him. I don't like that. That doesn't work for me. He shakes his head, but a smile plays upon his lips. What do you mean? Expecting some lame excuse about how he's the alpha and demands respect, the reply I get is very different. That doesn't work for me in intimate situations. I like to be in charge. I whirl around and slap his arm. We will never, that will never, EW. I stumble over my words, unable to truly express my disgust. Shoot, he yells, drawing all the attention of half the crowd. His arm is quickly turning a bright red color. An outline of my handprint is clearly visible. Impressive hit, a voice murmurs. I lift my hand to strike again, until I realize it's only a listen. Thank you. I grin. Riker stomps over to us, I hold up a hand. Don't even give me that. What was that for? Trash, because you know very well that you deserved it. Did you have to slap me? I pretend to think for a moment. Yes. When he opens his mouth to say something rude, I interrupt. Be glad it wasn't your face. Kimber, I clap a hand over his mouth. Don't. Even. Think about it. Alyson stands there uncomfortably, until I release Riker and acknowledge him. Did you need something? Yeah. His eyes dart between Riker and I. An alpha from some neighboring pack has come. He wants to give his congratulations to you finding your mate and to meet her. And if I don't want to meet him, I counter. You're going anyway, and be respectful. Riker snaps. I smile and pinch his cheek. How many times do I have to tell you that you don't control me? I coo in a baby voice. He wrenches his cheek from my grasp. Right as he's about to yell at me, Alyson interrupts. Please, just do it, Kim. He pleads. Well, since you said please. I agree, making Riker more furious. Riker. Alyson grabs his arm. You need to calm down. To my surprise, Riker scoops me into his arms and starts smelling me. Even further astonishing me, it seems to calm him. He relaxes, and for a moment, I'm stunned into doing nothing but standing stiffly in his arms. Then I realize that I'm letting him hold me, and I wrench out of his grip. Shamefully, I enjoyed it, which was even worse than letting it happen in the first place. Seeing the tenseness of my body language, Alyson places a hand on my arm and explains. Smelling your mate can help calm you down. Riker growls at Alyson, whose hand is still on my arm. He rapidly removes it. Thanks for the warning. I mutter sarcastically. Would you like to smell me? Riker opens his arms as if for a hug, rudely implying that I need to be calmed down. Riker, I swear to you, if you push my buttons one more time, let's go meet that alpha, yes. Alyson interrupts again. Good idea. I say, gritting my teeth. We walk over to where a man in a tuxedo stands, drinking what smells like wine. This is odd, because I was told we weren't intending to serve any alcoholic beverages. Ah, Luna. He exclaims when he catches sight of us, strolling over. What a pleasure to meet you. The mysterious man scoops up my hand and kisses it, all in one fluid motion. Another growl rumbles in Riker's throat. He seems to be growling a lot lately, and then the man chuckles. She's yours, I know, but she is a beautiful young lady, is she not? A blush rises to my cheek. Normally, I don't blush very often, but I can't help myself. He's such a charmer and rather handsome. Kim. I give him a small smile, extending my hand and introducing myself. Where are my manners? I'm Noah. For some reason, I get the feeling that he's lying, but I say nothing. My wolf seems to sense it as well, and I can tell she's suspicious of him. When we make eye contact while shaking hands, I narrow my eyes at him, to make it clear I know he's lying. Instead of turning flustered or being caught off guard, he seems Pleased. Pleased to meet you. I smile coolly. And I am also pleased to make your acquaintance. He replies. I just wanted to meet the young lady I'd heard so much about. With that, he leaves without a warning. How could he possibly have heard plenty about me? I arrived here today. All right. I raise my eyebrows, although he's long gone and can't hear me. That was a little strange. For the rest of the party, I meet other members of the pack, whose names I instantly forget. But my mind is preoccupied with thoughts of this Noah guy. What is it about him that sets me on edge, makes me aware? Why do I think he's lying? Whatever the reason is, I can't get him off my mind. When the party ends, Riker and Alyson ask why I'd been so detached, so distracted. I give them some stupid answer about missing my friends, which is partially true, I guess. To be honest, I'd been too busy arguing since I'd arrived to miss anyone. Riker promises they can visit tomorrow, which makes me grin. They'll be here for the delivery of the peaches. Chuckling to myself, I lock the door, slip under the covers of my own room, with my own bed, and no Riker, and fall asleep. Holy. I yelp as something jumps on me and jolts me out of my pleasant sleep. Surprise. Brinley grins from her position atop my stomach. I groan. You had to jump on me. I tried to stop her. Ashallon shrugs. I roll my eyes. Let me get dressed, and then we can get breakfast. They nod, and I force myself out of bed and over to my messy suitcase. Finally, I decide to put on a comfy outfit because I'm lazy. We head downstairs, and I open the cupboard, searching for some good cereal. I spot a box on the highest shelf. I go on my tiptoes in an attempt to reach them, but it fails. I huff, crossing my arms. Fudge you, Riker. Brinley giggles and grabs the box easily. Speaking of him, how are you and that hunk getting along? She asks, and I roll my eyes again. Don't say something like that in front of him. It'll only inflate his already ginormous ego. Why are you even at this giant mansion of a house? Ashallon asks, always the perceptive one. Maybe I should explain over a bowl of cereal. I suggest. After 2 bowls, each of cereal, I have them at least partially convinced that I'm a werewolf. I know it's probably against some rule to tell them the truth, but in case you haven't already figured out, I don't necessarily listen to authority. With perfect timing, Alyson stumbles into the kitchen joining the party, rocking the just rolled out of bed and I'm exhausted look. Clad in a pair of sweats and a casual t-shirt that most likely serve as his pajamas, he draws the attention of my friends. Who is that? Brinley lets out a small whistle. The whistle gets Alyson's attention as well. As he turns his head towards us, sleepy at first. His gaze focuses on Ashallon and he stiffens. Mine. He growls, and in the blink of an eye he's at her side. She stares up at him with wide eyes, clearly terrified and confused. What? Ashallon squeaks, hugging herself nervously. She rocks back and forth in her chair, her small frame shaking. He's your mate, Ashallon. I help along her understanding. Apparently it was too much too soon, because oh is all she replies, and with that she faints, falling off her chair. Fortunately, Alyson manages to catch her. Alyson runs out, claiming he'll take her to the pack doctor. As he runs out, Riker strolls in. Wonderful. So, Brinley begins looking at me. I fear for what might come out of her mouth. It's just you, me, and this hunk over here. She jerks her thumb at Riker. I smack my forehead, and Riker grins. See, someone here appreciates my good looks and charm, he says. I shake my head in exasperation. I thought I told you not to inflate his ego anymore, then it's already been inflated. I couldn't resist. She shrugs. Riker drapes an arm over her shoulder. A forceful growl erupts from within me, shocking both me and them. A little jealous, are we? Riker smirks. I scoff at the very idea. You wish. I laugh. Be careful about being too flirtatious for all I care, but if your confidence is proportionate to your ego, you'll never fit. Strutting out of the kitchen, I make my best effort to be polite to my wolf. Do you have a name? Yes, my name is Cambria. Why? I drop the polite act. So I know what to refer to you, as when I yell at you for making a fool out of me. Your mate should not be flirting with your friends. It's unacceptable, and I need to have a talk with Sawyer. Sawyer. That's the name of Riker's wolf. He's not my mate, he's yours. Right. You and I are one. Riker and Sawyer are one. We are all mates with each other. That's literally one of the weirdest things I have ever heard. Without realizing it, my aimless walking had taken me to the pack doctor. Eager to visit Ashalyn and see how she was doing, I enter. She's still unconscious, and Alyson is sitting by her bed, an unmoving guard. Alyson. I whisper shout. His head jerks up, and he's ready to attack whoever dares disturb his vigil. Calm yourself. He relaxes once he sees it's me. Doctor said she's doing fine and should wake any minute. How can she even be your mate? She's a human. Humans can be our mate. So now I have to exile Brinley from seeing any werewolves ever again. I muse, tapping my chin. Finding your mate is wonderful. He stares down at Ashalyn lovingly. Don't take that opportunity away from her. I don't want her, or Ashalyn, messed up in this crazy world. My parents aren't my real parents. My real parents are dead. I have to help lead one of the largest packs ever, and oh yes, we're all werewolves. I shout. The one thing about werewolves is that we will, for the most part, treat our girls right. They're our mates, and if we hurt them, it hurts us. The same can't be said for human guys. So who would she really be safer with? He smirks, knowing he's put up a good argument. Fine, but you better treat Ashalyn right, or so help me. No, if you treat her wrong, it'll be you who's needing the help. If there's any of you left to help when I'm done with you. Got it, I say. He gulps. Yes. Good. I return to my smiling face. A light giggle catches my attention. Ashalyn is awake. Did you hear all that? I ask, face heating up. Why are you threatening my mate? A smile flits across her pale face. So I'm accepted. Alyson's face brightens immediately. Ho, I interrupt Ashalyn. You can reject your mate. My head snaps in his direction. And don't even give me that nonsense. Tell me. I don't think Riker would be very. As your future Luna, I command you to tell me. I demand, with a loud bark for emphasis. I feel a bit guilty for abusing my power, but ignoring the emotion. You say I, then your full name, hereby reject, and then their full name. He whispers. Thanks, see you later. Get well soon, Ash. I dash out of the room to find Riker. He's still in the kitchen with Brinley. I know my friend would never try to take my mate away from me. Not that I would mind it if she did, but this upsets Cambria. I can feel anger stirring around inside, a little jealousy. Riker. I feign excitement. I need to ask you something. Brinley tactfully excuses herself. What it is, he says, annoyed. What is your middle name? Why is this? Just answer the question. I narrow my eyes at him. Jared. Thank you. I, Kimbriella Ray Canterbury, hereby reject you, Riker Yaw. He tackles me to the ground, shoving his hand over my mouth. What do you think you are doing? He roars. I roll my eyes again. Isn't it obvious? He removes his hand from my mouth so I can answer. Rejecting you. Duh. No, you will not reject. Have you so soon forgotten that I would die for you? In the same way, I would die without you, slowly going insane, withering away. And you would do the same. So don't you dare even think about rejecting me ever again. I suddenly come to my senses, realizing that we haven't moved from our position on the floor. He's pinning me to the ground, on top of me. And all I want to do is kiss him. Can you get off me? He doesn't move. Riker. I think it's time to prove to everyone that you're mine. He leans down, bending over me, eyes locked on my exposed neck. Riker, what the heck are you doing? I try to stop him, but my arms are under his, being pressed against the floor by his strength and helped by gravity. Curse gravity. Biting you. He responds, eyes never moving from a spot on my neck. Creepy. He's still bent over me. His smell is making it difficult to think. What does that do? I stall for time. About a dozen people rush to the door, all wanting peaches, and wondering how the alpha reacted. How did you get him to agree to let these in? A random lady asks, awestruck. He didn't take it so well. He's upstairs right now, but we have peaches and that's all that matters. I bite into a juicy peach, happy, but not. I finger the spot on my neck carefully. I shouldn't want this. And yet I do. Sighing, I sit down in a chair, finish my peach. Hopefully a Shallon will have better luck. Finishing my peach, I pondered about what to do. Brinley is, well, I don't know where Brinley is, that's part of the problem. Brinley could be anywhere, Riker's in his room, not that I would want his company anyway, and a Shallon and a Listen are preoccupied with each other. So I drag myself all the way to my room, choosing to read a book for entertainment. When I get bored with reading and being cooped up in my room, I exit, almost tripping over a Listen, who happens to be sitting outside my room. Hi, what are you doing here and where is a Shallon? Guarding you. A Shallon is in the shower. Guarding me? I make a face. Why, you're the Luna. You're one of Riker's only weaknesses. If you get kidnapped, it's game over. I don't need a babysitter, thanks. I hiss. Don't argue with me, argue with Riker. I decide to take his advice and do just that. Ryker. I holler, not bothering to knock as I storm in. He stretches across his bed lazily, wearing only his undergarments. Cambria is going a bit crazy at the sight, and maybe me, a little bit too, and I have to admit he has a nice set of abs. I wrench my gaze to avoid being caught checking him out. Why is a Listen outside my door? He rubs his forehead. You need a guard. I beg to differ. I can protect myself. No, you can't. Yes, I can. He slowly gets up from the bed, inching closer. In a flash, he has pinned me up against the wall, his hands around my wrists, trapping them there. The rest of his body is pressed against mine, rendering my legs useless. I huff in frustration. Get off me. You think a kidnapper is going to leave because you ask them to. Any guy could take advantage of you, abduct you. He continues his little speech, but I tune him out, instead devising a way to escape and prove him wrong. When he seems thoroughly distracted, I buck my hips against his, surprising him. His body moves back a bit, giving me some free space, which I use to place my foot firmly on his stomach, pushing him away. His grip breaks free, and I'm free. I can take care of myself. I spit, eyes flashing. Before he can reply, I leave the room, slamming the door. When I reach a Listen, I inform him that I don't need to have a guard, Riker's order. I don't even feel a drop of guilt over this blatant lie. Since I currently have free time, I decide to go explore the forest, as I had wanted to. Walking casually out the back door, and doing my best not to draw any attention to myself. I set a brisk pace in the direction of the forest. I begin my search for wild blackberries. After a few minutes, I find myself some blackberries. My hand is hovering over the first berry when I hear the snap of a twig. My head whips up to scan my surroundings, all senses alert. It would be extremely embarrassing if I got abducted right after that speech of Riker's. Who's there? I ask the forest, trying to sound tough and threatening. My feet move in a circle, spinning me in a repeated pattern of slow 360s in order to see all around. Without a warning, a hand snakes around my waist, another around my mouth. And yet another hand, there must be two people, shoves a cloth over my nose. I've never experienced the scent, but my deductive reasoning leads me to believe that it was chloroform, if my head spinning is any indication. The hand from my mouth is removed, so that the cloth can cover that also, too. I flail my arms and legs, holding my breath. I elbow the person behind me, who lets out a grunt, but doesn't let go. I dig my nails into the skin of the person, holding the cloth over my mouth. With a cry of pain, the cloth is released, and I rip the other hands away from me, gasping for air. My relief doesn't last long, perhaps 3 seconds, as someone tackles me from behind, slamming my jaw into the ground. I moan as blood fills my mouth. Then the cloth covers my mouth again. I still struggle, but to no avail, and eventually I succumb to darkness. I wake up not in a cell, as I had expected, or chained and shackled, but instead a rather comfortable bed. As I come to my senses, I expect searing pain to flood into my jaw, but there's nothing. Curiously, I look around to observe more of my surroundings. It's windowless, figures, and the walls are a dull tan color. I get up carefully and try the knob. To my astonishment, it's unlocked. My stomach rumbles, and I place a hand over the area in hopes of silencing it. Forget escaping. I need food and some answers. I wander aimlessly in hopes of finding a person or the kitchen, and though I'm no good at keeping track of the passage of time, I would approximate about 20 minutes pass during my search. Leaning against the wall, I glance at the painting across from me, fairly certain that I had seen it 5 times already. I slide down the wall to take a break when a voice gives me heart attack. Can I help you, Miss Canterbury? Or am I to refer to you as Mrs. Aldane? The way she says Aldane makes me shiver, and I wrinkle my nose at the thought of being called Mrs. Aldane. Mrs. Canterbury, and if you could lead me to the kitchen, it would be greatly appreciated. The formality confuses me. I thought I was a prisoner. As you wish. The master is waiting in the kitchen, I believe. The master, the strange man, presumably a servant, bows his head. I'm afraid I've said too much. Come along. I let him guide me through the twists and turns of the many hallways. It's almost as confusing as the pack house. We reach the kitchen, and I enter with a bit of caution. Casually sitting on a chair is Noah. Noah, I voice my confusion. Luna, he uses the same greeting as when we first met, confirming my suspicions. And my real name is Ryan Homelock, but you can call me Ryan. Though of course, you already know all this. I knew you were lying about who you were, but I didn't know your name. I have no clue who you are or how I'm supposed to know you. An expression of shock flits across his face. I simply assumed that's why you didn't reveal my deception. I thought you might have a good motivation. Clearly this wasn't true. Your goal was to scope out the area to plan your attack and kidnap me. Getting angry now, I launch myself into a fierce attack. You know, I'd love to come to your funeral when Riker finds out your little hideout. I pretend to mull something over. Oh, what a shame. I'll probably have work that day, and business comes before pleasure. To my annoyance, he chuckles. I assure you my intentions are good. And I see you really are a feisty one. My scouts have informed me. Why does everyone say that? The reason I assumed, wrongly, that you were protecting me because you knew my identity. He takes a deep breath. Is he trying to kill me with suspense? Is because I was the former beta of the Canterbury pack, your pack. The room sways a bit, and I grasp the counter for support. Keep going. Kimbriella, Riker Aldane killed your parents. The room dances again, twisting and turning in every which way. My vision is spinning. But I didn't faint. No, I thought bitterly, that would be too easy. Obviously, you didn't call me here only to tell me this. He smiles. You are right, little Luna. I have a proposition for you. A proposal for revenge. I don't resist the guards, and I force myself to spend time around Riker, acting sweet and caring. He really seems to believe that I've changed, fool, and trusts me. One day, as planned, I ask Riker to accompany me on a run in the forest. Naively, he accepts. The meeting place is to be the blackberry bush, where I was kidnapped. When we reach the bush, I pretend to be surprised. Look, wild blackberries. Can we pick some? I give him my most adorable puppy dog pout. He has no chance. Anything for my future wife. He smiles at me. I smile back, though it sickens me to do so. He leans in a few inches, touching our lips together. I do my best to conceal my disgust. His mouth moves to my throat, as predicted. It's pathetic, really, that he doesn't realize this moment is all planned, all fixed. His incisors are extended, and he shoots me a glance, asking for permission. I nod in response. As he moves in, I deck him in the face, putting all my strength into that one punch. He staggers backwards, easy prey for when I follow up, shoving him to the forest floor. Kimbriella. What? Ryan appears, gun in a hand. Why would you? Just shut up, Ryker. I shout, my voice echoing. You've already caused enough damage. Riker attempts to stand, but Ryan points the gun at Riker's head. One other move and I won't hesitate to shoot. Please, just answer me. Riker begs. What did I ever do to hurt you? I'll fix it, I promise. Unless you can resurrect people from the dead, that's not going to work, Riker. You can't bring my parents back. I scream. I can feel my eyes burning with unshed tears, but I refuse to let them fall. To cry, to break down. Not here, not now, not ever. I don't know what you're talking about. One more word and I shoot. Ryan is breathing heavily. I step in front of Riker. Stop, let's hear him out. No. He shakes his head violently. I have no clue why he's so opposed to their idea. Move or I'll shoot. I scoff at this. Nice try, I say, calling his bluff. Put down the gun. Except, as it turns out, it's not a bluff. Without flinching, he pulls the trigger, and I let out a screech of pain as the bullet enters my leg. The last thing I see before I pass out is Riker and Ryan, both in wolf form, battling it out. Beep. 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 I wake up to repeated, infuriating noise. Making an effort to open my eyes, I squint at the bright light. She's awake. A voice calls. Listen. Erg, I moan at the pain in my leg. Hey, are you all right? Riker rushes to my bedside, the perfect image of a caring boyfriend. I'll give it to him, he's a good actor. I try to squirm away, but am prevented by the searing pain in my thigh. Get away, you murderer. I flail my arms, trying blindly to hit him, any part of him. It doesn't work. Kim, you aren't making any sense. Alyson says quietly. Kim, baby, please. I have no idea what you're talking about, I swear. I ignore the fact that he called me baby to focus on the more important part of my statement, his lie. You know exactly what you did. I narrow my eyes. Baby, you have to believe me. Stop calling me baby. I know you murdered my parents. The room gets dead silence. At this confirmation of his guilt, I launch into my attack. And you didn't tell me because I would hate you forever. Well, news flash, you uprooted me from my old life and are the dictator of my new one, so I do anyway, regardless of your murderous tendencies. I swear to you that I have absolutely no clue whatsoever as to what you are talking about. I make eye contact with him, intent on intimidating him and displaying my anger, but instead when I glare into his brown orbs, all I see there is genuine honest. And in that moment, I know, surely as my heart beats, that he isn't lying. I believe you. His eyes widen. Really? Yes. I inhale deeply. Yes, I do. I was silent for a few seconds and then I ask, what happened after I blacked out? How long have I been out? Riker didn't appear to be injured, but I had deduced from my own experience that werewolves heal with uncanny speed, and who knows how long I'd been out. We fought. He was injured worse, but he still managed to get away in about a day. Longer than I had anticipated. I'm sorry for plotting against you and almost getting you killed. I giggle sheepishly. You do realize this means you'll need guards. No. I shake my head. No, no, no. Yes. He nods back, mocking me. Yes, yes, yes. Go away. I frown, pouting. We still have to talk. About what? You can never, ever, pull a stunt like that again. There needs to be trust between us. We're responsible for a lot of lives. We have to be a team. Us arguing, fighting, is a weakness that other packs won't hesitate to exploit. And I need to know that other packs can't use you, my own mate, to plot against me. As long as you don't give me a reason to attack you, you'll be fine. I grin. Kim, I'm serious. If you want a meek, shy wolf that bends to your will and does whatever you tell her, then maybe you should go find a new Luna. Kimbriella, that's not what I want. He whispers. I want you. With those 3 simple words, he crashes his lips to mine. Passion explodes inside of me, unlike anything I'd ever felt before, desire flooding into every inch of my body. If he wants there to be trust between us, then he's going to have to earn it. I'm still determined not to fall for him, despite the stupid mate bond. But that doesn't mean I can't flirt a little. With a devious smirk upon my lips, I lean closer to Riker, teasing. I move behind him, slipping my hands down his chest, feeling his accelerated heartbeat. I won't be someone you can easily control. I finish, releasing him and walking away. You're such a tease. He stands up, following me. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Brinley and Ashalyn rush down the hallway, screaming and waving their arms once they see me. I have no idea what Yuari's saying. I yell back. They stop in front of me. May's runner just came out. She screeches, grabbing my shoulder and shaking me. Dylan O'Brien, here we come. Then Riker comes out of my room, a stern look on his face. You're not going alone. Mother. I roll my eyes. I'm not. Brinley and Ashalyn are coming with me. And Alyssyn and I. No. I cross my arms and begin to formulate my next plan. I wouldn't mind. Ashalyn trails off once I give her the death glare. It's settled then. Riker puts an arm around my shoulders. I elbow him in the stomach, causing him to let out an oof and release me. Find your own transportation. How are you getting there? He holds up the keys to his Jeep. I have the keys. He dangles them, tempting me. Oh, he has no idea what he has just gotten himself into. Two can play that game. I sashay up to him, swinging my hips. I bite my lip, coming closer still. Carefully, discreetly, I motion for Brinley and Ashalyn to exit, to prepare for our getaway. I know what you're trying to do. His breathing is unsteady. It's not going to work. Pretty please. I flutter my eyelashes. Waiting for the perfect time to strike, I continue to ease down the walls of his defenses. Kimbriella, it isn't going to work. But it sounds more like a question. Please. I'll let you bite me. I can see him, pondering the question, swaying his resolve. All right, he agrees and moves in. I lied. I yell with a giggle. I snatch the keys from his hand. My feet pound down the stairs as I make my escape. I fling open the door. Get in the car. I scream to Brinley and Ashalyn, pressing a button and unlocking the doors. They obey, and I sprint at top speed. Jumping in the car, I peel out of the long driveway. Nice. Brinley exclaims, high-fiving me from her shotgun seat. I'll look up the nearest theater playing May's Runner. Ashalyn pipes up from the back seat. I shovel another handful of popcorn in my mouth. Brie. Ashalyn slaps my hand. The movie hasn't even started yet. Sorry, I mumble incomprehensibly, my mouth full of buttery goodness. Two figures walk in the theater and appear to be searching for someone. Somehow, I know it's Riker. Get down. I hiss. Without hesitation, Brinley ducks to the floor. What? Why? Ashalyn looks around the theater, but by then it's too late. Our position has been compromised. Riker and Alyssyn reach our row, third from the back, which is where I always sit. Riker's footsteps come to a halt, and I glance up to see him right in front of me. You. I cut him off. You're blocking the screen. I inform him and attempt to move him aside. It doesn't work. We already paid, so we'll watch the movie. I cheer, and he glares at me. But I'm sitting next to you. Nope, no can do. Then no watching the movie. Feeling that not getting in trouble and getting to watch the movie is pretty good exchange for having to sit next to Riker, I decide against further argument. Ashalyn moves to sit by Alyssyn, leaving me to sit between Brinley and Riker. I'm doing this for you, Dylan. I whisper. Brinley hears me, and it sends her into a fit of giggles. What did you say? Riker pokes me, confused. Oh, nothing. When Dylan O'Brien as Thomas appears, Ashalyn and I grab each other's arms, gripping tightly. So hot, I moan. Yes. She nods in agreement. Then Newt is introduced. He's hot too, she exclaims. And his accent. I trail off. I'd let them hug me in a heartbeat. Ditto, bro. I say, eyes fixated on the screen. No, you wouldn't. Riker interrupts, annoyed. When the movie ends, Riker gets a firm grip on my hand and drags me out. What about the Brinley? She'll go with a listen and a shallon. He looks annoyed. You can't just take off whenever you feel like it. I shrug. I can, and I did. Kimbriella. His face is strained. Can't you see I'm only trying to protect you? I know you don't need it, but I want to. But I don't want you to. I enunciate each word clearly. He sighs in frustration. Just let's go. I notice his keys. Why does he leave them so vulnerable? Resting half out of his pocket. Kimbriella. Never mind. I interrupt. Can I just have a hug? What? Absolutely bewildered by my sudden change of attitude, he raises an eyebrow in what must be one of the sexiest facial expressions known to man. You know this is Riker. For some reason, that thought doesn't disgust me as much as usual. Don't tell me you're getting soft, I warn myself. Please. He sighs and moves in for a hug. Fine, I guess. I wrap my arms around him, quickly locating the keys and grabbing them out of his back pocket with a smack on his rear for emphasis. Breaking the embrace before he realizes what happened, I dash towards the Jeep, backing up and taking off, almost running into another car, which beeps so long and loudly at me I think my eardrums might burst. I ignore them and stomp on the gas pedal. That'll show him he can't control my life. In fact, I decide, in an act of even more rebelliousness, that I'm going to go visit Keenan. Since I tend to be a little directionally challenged, I pull out my phone and type in Keenan's address, letting it tell me where I need to go. Within a half hour, I'm arrived at Keenan's house and park my car. Another car, sleek red in color, blocks me from pulling in all the way. I don't recognize it, but decide it doesn't matter, for now at least. Gently closing the door, I step out of the car, the light summer breeze blowing my hair away from my face. Ding dong. The doorbell chimes and I tap my foot impatiently, annoyed and wanting to talk to Keenan, to explain why I haven't been around. Not the whole story, of course. I wouldn't want him to think I'm insane. Telling your boyfriend you're a werewolf would not be a good thing to spring on him out of the blue. The door opens and I look up to see. Not Keenan. A blonde-haired girl stands in the doorway, her tall, willowy frame dwarfing my own. The length of her legs were approximately the length of half my body. Hi. I give a small smile. Hey, I'm Mia. She exclaims, grabbing my hand from its place at my side and pumping it up and down enthusiastically. I'm assuming you're here for Keenan. I nod. She seems quite friendly. Kenan. She yells, the volume of her voice deafening. Boy, she's got a set of lungs on her. I think to myself. Yeah. My boyfriend appears in the doorway. Oh, Kim. His tone doesn't exactly sound encouraging. What do you want, Kim? Keenan asks. I frown at his impatient, borderline rude tone. I just came to talk to you. Mia drags me inside. There's no need. Keenan does his best to protest, but Mia will hear nothing for it. I'll be in the living room. Let me know when you're finished. His mouth opens to say something, presumably to try and stop her, but she hurries away, her long strides eating up the carpeted ground easily. Why are you so averse to talking? I ask him, crossing my arms. Well, a relationship is supposed to be all about communication, isn't it? He glares at me. I guess it's good, yes. Then why haven't I seen or heard of you for close to a month? I haven't known quite what to think. It's complicated. It's complicated. It's complicated. Would it be too complicated to send me a simple text stating that you aren't dead? Stop being so overdramatic and let me talk. I roll my eyes. Fine. Talk. My parents are forcing me to go to this family friend's house for the whole summer. I wasn't supposed to leave. I'm actually not supposed to be here right now. That doesn't explain why you couldn't have texted or called. He hates me texting you. He. Who is he? The family friends. Son. Why? What does he have against me? He's just super overprotective. I make a face. Well, that's ridiculous. I agree. I nod. I ought to talk to him, give him a piece of my mind. Out of the corner of my eye, I see movement outside the window. You might get a chance to. A harsh knock on the door startles me to the point of jumping. It sounds less like someone is trying to knock on the door, and more like they're trying to pound the door down. I make eye contact with Keenan before moving to open the door. To my absolute horror, Riker stands before us. He looks more furious than I've ever seen him, which is saying a lot. Kimbriella. His tone is so cold it literally gives me chills. Riker. I swallow. Keenan, this is Riker, our family friend's son. Riker, this is Keenan, my boyfriend. Pleasure to meet you. Keenan tries to be polite. I'll be taking her home now. Riker takes a hold of my arms. Actually, I think the three of us should talk. Keenan clutches my other arm. Let's not play tug of war. I say, carefully removing both of my arms from their grasps. Who do you think you are, trying to hold Kim hostage from the rest of the world? Keenan inches closer to Riker. I silently pray that he won't go on a long rant about his alpha heritage. Obviously, I haven't been holding her hostage. She has proved that she is perfectly capable of escaping. His cold detachment is beginning to freak me out. Riker. Keenan refuses to let me finish. I can tell you one thing, she won't be going back with you. So feel free to leave. This ignites Riker's fury. I can tell you one thing, she's coming with me. So back off. Riker takes a step forwards towards Keenan. Hey, no need to go all alpha male, she's not your property. The irony of this comment is so absurd that I burst out laughing. Kim, this isn't funny. Keenan suddenly switches from backing me to being against me. Since he can't possibly understand the circumstances. I don't try to explain my sudden fit of giggles. Kimbriella, say goodbye. Not a chance. I roll my eyes. Bro, you can't. I'm not your bro. Riker growls, his voice extremely scary and intimidating, and in fact sounding very alpha male and very attractive. Okay, that's it. Keenan throws a punch at Riker's face. Unfortunately for him, Riker sees the punch and easily blocks it. Flinging it aside, he pulls back his fist, intent on retaliation. Riker, no. He turns to look me straight in the eyes, then turns away. His fist trembles in place for a few seconds, which seem to tick by endlessly. He ever so slowly lowers his fist. Wide-eyed, Keenan stumbles away. Break up with her. Riker, no. With the same line, I plead, but this time Riker shows no sign of backing down. No. Keenan scoffs. Riker takes a threatening step toward him. Oh, okay. Keenan. I screech, astonished at him giving up so easily. Kim, I can't date you with this. He searches for the right word to describe Riker. This absolute maniac, this psycho, controlling your every move. I'm sorry. With that cowardly statement, he walks into the safety of his house, walking out of the house first, and slamming it forcefully in Riker's face. When I'm halfway to the car, I hear the door open again. I keep walking, past the house, past the car. Kimbriella, stop. I almost laugh at the fact that he thinks I would actually listen to him. Instead of arguing with me, I feel strong arms that I recognize as his, wrap around me. Let me go. I mumble. But my voice lacks conviction, and he simply scoops me up with ease, carrying me to the car and depositing me in the passenger seat. In a last half-hearted attempt at escape, I try to open the door. Of course, it's locked. As the full weight of the situation hits me, I'm single. I feel the burning of tears welling in my eyes. This detail does not go unnoticed by Riker. Kimbriella. Anger bubbles up in me, and I force the tears from my eyes, refusing to let him see me cry. Riker, just shut up. Don't you dare say another word to me during this car ride, or I swear to you, on my deceased mother's memory, it will be your last. Thankfully, he takes the hint, closing his mouth and driving in silence. When we reach the pack house, I exit the car. Don't slam the... I slam the door with so much strength that the entire car shudders, and the window of my door actually shatters. Door. Riker, you had no right to do that. None. You having a boyfriend, while being my mate was entirely unacceptable. It shamed you, it shamed me, and it reflected badly on our pack. You could have at least attempted to discuss this with me before taking matters into your own hands. If I'm supposed to be your Luna, your equal, don't you think you consult me? You were the one who stole my keys and ran off this house. You were the one who followed me to the movies. You were the one who stole my keys to the car to get to the movies. You were the one who was being overprotective. You were the one who, you know what? I'm not even going to argue with you. Maybe I should just take your advice and find a new mate. The words, though exactly what I had been hoping he would say for the longest time, hit me as if a sumo wrestler had just thrown an anvil at my face. It hurt so much that I actually let out an audible whimper. At this sound, his face softens, and he does his best to backtrack. I'm sorry, you know I didn't mean that. The crack of my hand across his face halts him in mid-sentence. Cursing myself for my weakness, a whimper. Really. I stomp into the house, blowing past all who try to talk to me, shoving away a Listen, a Shallon, and even Brinley, whom I confide everything in. Reaching my room, I don't slam the door for fear knocking it off its hinges, but instead shut it semi-calmly, lock it, and sit on my bed, not shedding a tear, just rocking and rocking and rocking. As much as I don't want to leave the comfort of my room, I'm going stir-crazy, and it's only been 3 hours. I stopped rocking an hour or so ago, plus I really have to use the restroom. I put on a tank top and short shorts, not intending to see anybody. After meditating on the events of the past month, I realized a few things, one of them being that I hadn't exactly been happy with Keenan. We tended to argue often, and he was annoying at times. Maybe Riker had done me a favor. However, I wasn't going to let him know that. Still, it eliminated much of the rage that had consumed me after the event of the day. Turning on the handle of my door ever so gently, I cringe at the loud pop the door makes when I unlock it. I pause for a moment, waiting to hear footsteps. None come, so I continue my way. After making a quick stop in the bathroom to use the restroom, I continue downstairs, keeping a sharp lookout for anyone I wouldn't want to run into. Which is pretty much everybody at this point. Shuffling carefully across the floor, a creak on the floor makes me whirl around. But no one is there. I try to calm my jumpy nerves, though all I can think is that this is how all horror movies begin. A firm hand on my shoulders frightens me, so badly I literally jump in the air. At this point, I'm extremely glad I went to the bathroom, because if I hadn't, I would have been embarrassed. Spinning on my heel, I'm prepared to defend myself. Except it's just Riker. Not bothering to hide my annoyance, I huff in irritation. I'm pretty certain I've made it beyond clear that I don't want to talk to you, preferably for the rest of my life. Turning to walk away, his hand revisits its spot on my shoulder. Despite me despising him, his touch sends fluttery jolts through me, which I hate. Can't we just talk? No, because then you're going to sweet-talk me into not being mad at you, and I don't want that to happen. You know me so well. Shut up. I grumble. Please, if you would just give this relationship a chance. Considering you just ruined my last one. Kimbriella, I'm so sorry about that. It was selfish, and not thought out, and a rash, horrible decision. I know you'll probably never forgive me, but if you could just try. Nope. No can do. Sorry. Actually, no, I'm good, but if it makes you feel better. If you won't do it for me, do it for the good of the pack. You're really going to pull that card. I bite my lip. How can I say no? I shouldn't admit this, but it's my last one. I'm giving you 3 days starting now, 4:51 p.m. on the dot. Want to? No. Not particularly. His face drops into a puppy dog expression, his giant brown eyes glistening in the dying light of the sun. How am I ever supposed to convince you to stay if I can't spend time with you? I tap my chin, pretending to mull it over. I don't know, it's not my problem. On that note, I march off content. There's no way he could change my mind in 3 days. No way, no how. Smiling in glee, I skip up the stairs to my room. I am so going to win this. The next day, I glance at the clock. 8:19, which means I've wasted approximately 15 hours already. Feeling accomplished, I head downstairs, in such a good mood that I actually feel like cooking. Cooking is something I do more as a hobby than a necessary chore, and only ever end up doing when I'm feeling extremely happy. The pancake mix in the cabinet is calling to me, so I decide on a crowd pleaser: chocolate chip pancakes. A half hour of pouring, stirring, and flipping later, I have several batches of pancakes done. Many hungry pack members have tried to pounce on my pancakes, but I ordered everyone out of the kitchen until now, the last batch, that is, unless more need to be made. Since there are so many people, they eat in shifts, and I instruct the first shift that it's all right to come in. Riker and Alyssum stroll through the doorway, murmuring in low voices, with Ashallon and Brinley chatting not far behind. Trey and Cynthia are a bit behind the crowd, but look adorable together, as always. Narrowing my eyes, I look at Cynthia. Something seems to be a little different. Striving to put my finger on it, I stare at her. When she notices, she smiles at me a bit shyly. I smile back and flip the pancakes so that they're good for a bit. I march over, intent on figuring out what's bothering me. Hey, I greet her and Trey, leaning against the table. A few more pack members part of the first shift drift in, say 20 or so. Hi, Trey nods. Cynthia blinks, her pretty eyes framed by some of the longest lashes I've ever seen. Anything I should know about? I say bluntly, not bothering to beat around the bush. Tapping my chin with the spatula, I move my tongue around the inside on my cheek in hardcore concentration. Trey. Cynthia glares at him, though her glare still manages to be cute and loving. I know you're excited, but I told you not to tell anyone yet. Trey just gapes at me for a few moments before turning to his wife. I didn't. He trails off, still looking bewildered. Simon spill. I urge them. I won't tell anyone. Trey glances at Cynthia for permission, and she grants it with a quick nod. Cynthia is pregnant. Congrats. I whisper yell, grinning widely. She grins back, more animated than I've ever seen. She places a finger to her lips, and I nod, respecting her wishes and privacy. How did you know? She asks, seeming about as confused as her husband. Something was just different. I don't even know. Well, I think you'll make a great Luna. The corners of her mouth turn up lightly. Nothing gets past you. For some reason, this really touches me. Maybe it's the fact that I'm not going to be their Luna, and it produces a lump in my throat. I'm going to go make sure the pancakes don't burn. Yeah. I force a laugh. Yeah, smart idea. She smiles again sweetly, waving me off. I hurry over to the stove, hoping the pancakes didn't burn at all, or at least beyond repair. A pair of strong arms snake around my waist as I'm about to take the pancakes off the griddle. Riker, I screech, immediately identifying the culprit. Yes. He croons from his spot behind my back. How do you always sneak up on me? I huff, brushing a piece of hair out of my face. I don't know. He murmurs, kissing my neck gently. Riker. I yell again. Yes. He blinks rapidly, fluttering his eyelashes. You think you're so cute. I roll my eyes. That's because I am, and you know it. Nah. I argue. Yuh. Nah, my reply is cut off by him, scooping me up with ease, and swinging me around every which way. Ryker Jared Aldaine. You put me down this very second or, so help me you one-t get a single pancake. Immediately I'm placed on the wonderful, firm ground. Now was that so hard? No. He frowns, looking like a scolded puppy. That's what I thought. Guys. Ashallon gets our attention, waving her hands back and forth. Yeah. I answer. The pancakes are burning. Holy chicken nuggets. I shove Riker out of the way and turn off the stove rapidly. The pancakes are an ugly black, charred beyond belief, and the smell is not exactly appetizing. I turn to Riker, pushing my finger into his chest. Look what you've done. What I've done. He exclaims. You were the one who got distracted. And who would be the one that distracted me? He sighs, defeated. Me. That's right. Now go sit down at the table, where you can't cause any more trouble. But I want to help. I shoot him a firm glare, but he's unyielding, and seems sincere in his offer. Gah, fine. I give in. Pour the batter on the griddle. And when there's a bunch of hungry werewolves wondering why breakfast is delayed, you have to take the blame. Deal. He nods. His white t-shirt clings to his muscled back as he works. Okay, I'm going to say it. I know we were all thinking it. Brinley commands the attention of everyone in the room with her naturally loud voice. Kim and Riker, officially, would make the cutest couple ever. To my embarrassment, each person in the room agrees, nodding or murmuring their approval of the statement. No, I argue. Aw. She is blushing. I hear Cynthia's soft, musical voice proclaim from her spot in the room. Well, I for one agree. Riker adds. Pay attention to the pancakes. I order, trying to save my face. I don't know what to do now. Oh, for the love of chicken nuggets. I roll my eyes and walk over to help. I think it's attractive when you use the name of chicken nuggets in vain. Riker whispers in my ear, his voice still attractively low from waking up recently. That's great. I snicker, flipping a pancake. Now it's your turn. He begins to flip the next one. Good effort. I pat him on the back. I think I deserve a prize for this. He complains, after the second pancake, is also a disastrous failure. I think I'll take it over from here. I attempt to hold in my laughter, hip bumping him out of the way. Hand me the spatula. I want to finish. He pouts, moving it out of my reach. Riker. I growl menacingly, arms darting around him to try and get the desired object. Then he holds it above his head, the 8 inches he has on my working to his advantage. Sometimes being 5'4" does not work to your advantage. That's not fair. Life isn't fair. He snips, sticking out his tongue. I gasp. Oh, no you didn't. Just let me try one more time, please. He asks, and then I nod. The last pancake turns, landing with a satisfying flop, in the form it's supposed to be. Flat. Finally, I giggle, glancing up at Riker. I congratulate him, a bit sarcastically. Great job, you flipped a pancake. Do I get a kiss? You're not out of hot water yet, mister. I demand that you go back to Keenan's house, apologize, and promise not to beat him up. That's not fair. He's not worth it. He wasn't good enough for you in the first place. Oh. I raise an eyebrow. And you are. He scoffs, as if asking what kind of question is that. Naturally. He runs a hand through his hair. I roll my eyes, a familiar motion whenever Riker is in the room. Go. Now. Yes. But. Nope. I interrupt, tapping his rear. This is the only rear you're allowed to have. No complaints or arguments. He pulls a face, but finally mopes out of the kitchen, taking the 3 pancakes from the last batch, along with 5 others from the already made pile. What do you need 8 pancakes for? I'm a growing boy. He shouts back, the words muffled, since he's already stuffed his mouth with the first pancake. Half of that statement is right, and it's not the growing part. I yell back. Hey. His indignant response causes me to giggle, as his voice echoes from the front of the house. The sound of a door closing signals his exit, and I pluck a pancake off the platter, ready to eat. Everyone at the table is staring at me when I turn around. What? I chuckle, looking at their faces. Cutest couple ever. Brinley breathes, breaking the silence. Shut up. I blush, then exit the room, hiding my face, muttering conceal, don't feel. Riker walks up to the door, his evident annoyance oozing out of every pore on his nearly perfect face. With a short exhale of breath, he pounds his fist into the door, denting it. He quickly removes his fist, cursing. When the door opens, he straightens. Keenan opens the door, foolishly not checking who stands outside it. When he sees Riker, he tries to reverse his mistake, but to no avail. Riker puts a hand on the door, effectively stopping it from moving any farther. What do you want? The human boy asks, clinging to the door. The werewolf doesn't bother to contain his smile, thriving off his fear. I'm here to apologize. Why do you want to apologize? Because I do, okay. Did Kimbriella send you here? Stop asking questions. Riker booms, slapping the door for emphasis. It flies out of Keenan's hand, banging against the wall. Sorry. Despite his rather pathetic attempts to sound brave, the stuttering gives away his fear. Yeah, she sent me. And I'm sorry for breaking you two up, and for roughing you up, and I promise I'll never rough you up again unless you really, really deserve it. This whole apology is said in a monotone, but poor Keenan is too terrified to criticize or reject the insincere apology. Oh, it's okay, I guess. Good. Bye. With those 2 words, Riker turns on his heel and saunters off towards his rusty jeep. Open-mouthed Keenan finally realizes that he is simply staring after him. Recovering, he shuts the door, leaving Riker alone. Well, I apologized. Riker mutters to himself. I intentionally avoid going downstairs until the first shift of breakfast was over. Once it is, I sneak back down to serve breakfast to the rest of them. I catch the eye of a few wolves who saw the little moment between Riker and I. They smirk at me, while I turn to the ground and avoid further eye contact. Serving a few pancakes, I'm distracted with the sound of the opening door again. My wolf stirs inside me, knowing it's bound to be Riker. Annoyingly, my heart begins to beat a little faster, and I press my lips together in irritation. Ryker, I holler. What? He yells back, already in the kitchen. I glare at him. I'm right here. Yeah, I'm well aware. So you don't have to yell. Then why did you yell? Because, you know what, just serve the darned pancakes. Shoving the spatula into his hand, I leave the kitchen. Wait. Kimbriella. Nope. I say, continuing my trek away from him. Why does the hallway have to be so freaking long? I don't know why you're irritated, but just. I stop moving. Unprepared, he bumps into me hard. We both tumble to the ground, him on top of me, face first into the hard wood floor. Let me up. I groan, flipping myself over. This is even more awkward, as our faces are inches away. Feigning fatigue, I let my head drop to the ground, and it hits with a clunk. Ouch. Not the best idea. Suddenly, I'm regretting not putting on anything more than the tank top and shorts that I slept in. Like, for example, sweatpants and a turtleneck. Can't possibly look attractive in those. I try to avoid eye contact with Riker. Please get off. I tell him, but it lacks conviction. Look at me. He grabs my chin gently, cupping my face with his large, rough hand. What are you doing? I attempt to rip my face from his grasp. After a bit, he lets go. You're so beautiful. Reaching down to tuck a piece of my hair behind my ear as he says it, his mouth awfully close to my ear. It trails down, hovering above my neck. I sense, rather than feel, his incisors extending, which I still find to be rather vampire-ish. Riker, don't you dare. More than anything, I wish he would back away, put some distance between us, so I could think clearly. His natural, delicious scent is woodsy and intoxicating. My pulse pounds throughout my whole body, betraying my desire. My wolf begs for me to let go, to let him mark me. Stop, I say, but it comes out so weakly it's barely a whisper. His fangs grazing my neck is driving me crazy, and I don't think I can stand another second. Knowing I won't be able to withstand much longer, I shift slightly, which Riker seems to interpret as reciprocating his affection, rather than me trying to escape. A sensual sound escapes his mouth, and my wolf practically explodes at being the cause of this. Shivers of delight move their way down my spine, and in the next instant, before I can do anything more, his teeth are in my neck, marking me. The moment I walk in the door, Kimbriella hollers my name. I can feel my wolf do, a bit of a jump for joy at her immediate acknowledgement of our presence. I finally feel like I'm getting somewhere with her. Not to mention this morning. Her flirting in her tank top and mini shorts was unbelievably attractive. My wolf, Sire, agrees, only making the urge to mark her stronger soon. To show everyone that she is mine, and only mine. I enter the kitchen, I respond to her. "What?" I yell back. Unfortunately, she doesn't seem to be in that great mood anymore. She hands me the spatula and demands I serve up the pancakes. Hopelessly confused, I follow her out of the kitchen. All of a sudden, she stops. I run into her, knocking her over. Well, that was unexpected. She flips over, her face inches from mine. As I'm about to lean down and kiss her, she drops her head to the floor. Torn between having her right where I want her and respecting her wishes, I don't move. I lean down and whisper what I've been thinking the whole time. My eyes lock on her neck. Driven by a sudden powerful instinct, I move closer. So close to her neck, I can think of nothing more than marking her. I can hear her protest as I lean down to finally do it. She shifts slightly against me. And embarrassingly, I let out a sound of pleasure. Unable to control myself any longer, my wolf takes over, and we sink our teeth into her neck. The feeling can't compare to any other. I draw away, stunned. Glancing at her neck, there's now a mark there. She is officially mine. Lifting her off the ground and setting her on her feet, I let out a howl to let the whole pack know that she is officially my mate. I gasp a bit as I feel him pierce my neck. After a quick moment of pain, everything fades away to pure euphoria. He draws back, staring at me with a shocked expression. He peeks carefully at my neck, a small smile gracing his face. Suspicious, I make a mental note to look at my neck in a mirror. He scoops me up and stands me up. Leaning back, he lets out a howl, somehow expressing without words his feeling of happiness. Wanting to see my neck, I grab his hand, practically dragging him to the nearest bathroom and slamming the door behind us. Expecting to see two little, tiny pinpoints where his teeth were in my neck, it's a huge surprise to see the giant black mark the size of a fist on my neck. Horrified, I whip around to slap Riker in the face. Hopefully he'll have a mark as big as mine. Marching out of the bathroom, I shut the door to my room to see if I can cover this up with some makeup. The thing I had been most nervous about was that it would be painful for her, or somehow not enjoyable. However, as I met her gaze, her beautiful blue eyes were shining with happiness and love. She takes my hand and leads me down the hall, into the bathroom. She shuts the door behind us, and I have no idea what she's doing. Did she enjoy it so much that she wants to have a make-out session or something? Not that I would complain. Instead, she gives one look to her gorgeous mark, the symbol that declares her mine, and slaps me in the face with such force that I stumble backwards, my back hitting the wall along with the side of my head, which turned with the force of her slap. Pathetically, I'm happy, because I have a feeling she won't want to talk to me for a while now, and I rather her touch me and hurt me than not get near me at all. Hopefully, she won't be too angry that I marked her without her permission. Oops. Slamming the door behind me, I immediately get out the makeup kit. Fortunately, everything is full, since I rarely use it for anything except special occasions, which happen next to never. Taking out the blush brush, I stab into some tan powder, then rub it onto my neck, covering it. After a moment, my neck starts to burn. Freaking out a little bit, I dash out of the room and back into the bathroom, where Riker still stands. I ignore him, quickly turning on the faucet and splashing water on my neck. The entire handful of water evaporates into smoke, and the searing pain in my neck cools a little bit. Note to self, don't do that, I say a bit breathlessly. Riker chuckles, and I turn to face him. What? He asks, cocky little smirk on his face, eyes fixed on my neck. Probably admiring his handiwork. You are just asking to be slapped again. His eyes widen a little. Please don't. What the heck is this? I gesticulate wildly, in the general direction of my neck. That's a mark. I'm not stupid. I growl. What does it do? It tells everyone that you're my mate. See, the blotch faded around the edges, and it's turning into our pack crest, the lone wolf gazing at the sunrise. It will become silvery color. He explains. I narrow my eyes, examining it in the mirror. Right when we start to get along, you have to go and ruin it. I spit. So you're saying you didn't enjoy that? He raises an eyebrow. Unable to come up with a rebuttal, Riker pounces on the weakness. You can't, can you? Yeah. Your moan was my favorite part. I reply sarcastically. The kind of joy that comes as a product of making him happy. Oh well. He blushes. You caught me by surprise. There's a lot more where that came from. I declare, winking seductively. Realizing that I'm deviating from the argument, I become serious again. The point is, I wasn't ready for this yet, but the point is that you are in so much trouble I can't even tell you. Oh. He stares at me, expressionless. I am so afraid. What are you going to do, seduce me into doing everything you want? Well, it is proven that this does indeed work. I respond, making him blush again. You have about 2 days left. You see about that. He scratches the back of his neck sheepishly. What? What? I demand. When the mate bond is completed. His eyes flicker to my neck. You won't be able to spend much time away from me without physically hurting you. I rather experience a lifetime of hurt and pain than have to live with you. I hiss bitterly. You don't mean that, he murmurs slowly. Actually, I do. We're mates, you have to love me. No. I don't. You understand nothing. I'm water, you're oil, we are immiscible. I am miscible. We do not mix. I'm expecting him to get all angry. But instead he says, deny it all you want. He smirks, grabbing me and pulling me roughly to his lips. We haven't really kissed, so this explosion of everything stuns me. Our lips are locked, moving in perfect sync. Traitorously, my heart flutters. This is the kind of passion that I'd thought only existed in books, in movies, in places that weren't my life. As this occurred, I had forgotten that Riker was pretty much wolf in every way. As I grab onto the outside of his shirt, fisting it in my hands, he does the same, except giving a strong tug. My thin tank top rips off, and he focuses on the exposed skin, his hands running up and down my sides, leaving tingles in their wake. Riker, stop it. I shove him away, furious with him just as much as me. After a bit, his eyes return to their brown color, helping me relax a bit. Noticing my partially dressed state, he bites his lips and takes a bit of time to scan my body. Leave. He growls, pointing at the door. I cough in surprise. Excuse me. Get out. Now. But why? If you don't leave in the next few seconds, you will be in the middle of a Riker and countertop sandwich sometimes very soon. He growls, his voice unusually low. When he meets my eyes again to let me know he's serious, they are the same dark color they were earlier. Bye. I wave quickly and shut the door behind me, breathing heavily and desperately trying to process what had just happened. So I had slapped him, said it wasn't going to work, and then we were kissing. And then we what? Almost went all the way. Sure seemed like he wanted. You did too. My wolf snaps inside my head. No, you did. Not me, I argue. You're the reason I'm having these stupid feelings anyway. Cambria takes offense to that. Stupid. The mate bond is not stupid. She growls. I dismiss her rudely, finishing my train of thought. I did not want that with Riker. I wanted to wait until we were married, and I definitely wasn't ready for that commitment. Whoa, wait, I don't even like him. Arg. I mutter aloud, tugging on my hair. I wanted to straighten things out, but I obviously didn't want to approach Riker right now. I wandered downstairs aimlessly and headed to the library. Sighing deeply, I notice long brown hair the same color as Riker's, falling gentle waves over the back of a comfortable-looking chair. Riker's mom, I realize suddenly. An idea hits me as rapidly as the first realization. Maybe she could clarify some things. With this purpose in my mind, I speed up my pace, heading for the chair circle. Lowering myself, I clear my throat to get her attention. Her head snaps up. What? Sorry. Her eyes light up when she sees me. Kimbriella, I've heard so much about you. Hi, Mrs. Aldane. I begin. Here goes nothing. Hi, Mrs. Aldane. I say, pausing. To be perfectly honest, I hadn't really thought about what I'd say once I'd gotten to this point. In a stroke of luck, she interrupts and saves me. Oh, call me Anne. She was young for a parent, with a slim, almost emaciated build. All right, Anne. So obviously you have a lot of experience with this Luna stuff and having a mate, and I was just wondering if you could shed some light on the whole situation. She nods slowly, processing. What exactly do you need clarification on? I let out a nervous laugh. A little bit of everything, really. How I should treat Riker, what I'm supposed to even do as a Luna, how to stop making him angry, and oh yes, I brush my hair out of the way so she can see the mark on my neck. What to do about this? So he finally got up the courage to mark you. I hope you didn't mind too much. Riker can be a little forward when he wants something as badly as he wants you. At this, I blush furiously. Well, in the moment, no, it was very pleasant, but I sort of mind now. She brushes back her long hair as well to reveal a mark identical to mine, but a light silver color, as Riker had promised. We match. She smiles wryly. Yeah. I think the easiest way to answer your broad question is to tell you my own story. Keep in mind that we are very different people with very different circumstances, and nothing that I say necessarily has to apply you. I nod. I grew up in my pack as an Omega. I was the serving member of the pack, always overlooked, always blamed. When I was 16, Andrew, that is Riker's father, came to my pack in search for his mate. When he found me, I was astonished with the prospect of being the mate of an alpha. I hadn't expected to find my mate, since my rank was so low. So when he came, and we discovered that we were mates, I was ecstatic. Naturally, I wanted to escape my pack. Both my parents had died years beforehand after an attack. She stops for a few seconds. I'm an only child. I had no one to leave behind, and so I left without protest. We fell in love quickly, and there was nothing to stop us from getting married. So we married happily after a month. A year later, we had Riker. I was 17, with a child and a whole pack to care for. And I love every second of it. I guess that her status as an Omega could possibly lead to her not getting fed as much, which would explain her crazy skinniness. Feeling horrible, I voice my apology. Now I feel terrible. Everyone expected such a quick marriage, and it's already been about a month since I met Riker. Don't feel bad, sweetheart. Anne comforts me. This is all new to you. You just found out about what you really are, which must be a lot to take in. On top of that, you found your soulmate, who just happens to be the future leader of one of the biggest packs on this continent. You aren't used to the culture, our norms of taking things quickly. She smiles at me, and I try to smile back. You're looking for the slow and steady of a human relationship. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Though I would encourage you to maybe move a tad bit faster. As I know Riker is pushing you to, don't hesitate to bring up your own concerns. He cannot simply shove your wishes out of the way. Once you get out of this initial stage of conflict and fighting, you'll find that your relationship is a wonderful thing, and that if you know how to ask, he can't refuse you anything. It may seem like he's all talk, but he means his talk. I stop again, wondering how to phrase this. We argue all the time over everything. Your stubborn nature is a part of you, as much as your heritage or even your leg. To ask you to give that up would be unreasonable, and it's one of the things I instantly liked about your personality when I heard stories about you. As an only child, Riker can be used to getting his way, and you should be adamant about getting what you want as well. Much of the time, he's only concerned about your safety, and the thought of anything happening to you drives him insane with worry, which is why he gets frustrated. Riker wants to make up for the lost time. Don't change who you are, but if the both of you could find a way to give just a little, compromise in situations, I think you'd get along a lot better. Talking instead of yelling. And if you discussed your preferences about taking it slow, I'm sure he'd listen. That makes sense. I say, nodding and taking it all in. Did I miss anything? I nod. What do I have to do as a Luna? She nods. Duties of a Luna. Your duties are to be the mother of the pack, to take charge of the household duties, to raise your heirs well, and to be there for your mate. As an alpha, his job is very stressful, and he'll want someone to lean on. Your responsibility is to give him some stability and even aid him in his decision-making. If you do it right, as being a Luna is a fun job. She smiles. And the mark? I ask. Ah, yes, your mark. It pretty much declares to every other male werewolf that you're taken. It also increases the strength of the mate bond, which you'll find out about soon enough. You mean I'll feel more attracted to him than I already do? I stare at her incredulously. She throws her head back and laughs. I can only imagine the difficulty you're having trying to restrain your feelings for him. Don't forget to look at it vice versa as well when taking it slowly. Riker is trying to restrain his feelings for you as well, but it's more difficult. His wolf and alpha nature encourage him to mate with you as quickly as possible, even if you aren't doing anything to stir up those kinds of feelings. Not to mention that he is a ridiculously hormonal teenage boy. At this, we both share a laugh. And yes, you will feel more attracted to him, among other things. I think it would be a good idea if you went and talked to him now. All right, thank you for your help. I express my gratitude warmly. Anytime. She grins, picking up her book again. I check my watch, and it's an hour from the last time I encountered Riker. I assume he'll be in his room, so I head upstairs. Peeking my head in the door, I find that he isn't there. I can't find him anywhere. I ask many other wolves for directions, but to no avail. Finally, I come upon a young girl, about 10. When I ask her where Riker is, she hesitates for replying yes. She informs me that is he currently chopping wood, which he does when he's angry. She warns me that it would be probably better not to approach him. I thank her and ignore her advice. I head towards the woodpile and find him chopping wood. And because the universe hates me, he isn't wearing a shirt, which I find ridiculous. His biceps enlarge as he brings the hatchet up, the strong muscles in his back flexing as he smashes into the chunk of wood. He is so fixated on his job that he doesn't even notice my approach. Only when I yell at him, he finally notices. I grab his shirt off the ground. Put on a shirt, I yell, dangling it in front of me. He freezes, breathing heavily. He takes the shirt. My wolf happens to be screaming mate with him, repeatedly inside my head, which isn't helping matters. I can see what Mrs. Aldane means about the mate bond getting stronger. He slips on the shirt. What do you want? To talk? About what? Us. This surprises him enough to look at me. What do you mean? Us, he says the word. I exhale deeply, shakily. I mean, I want to give this relationships a shot. I haven't been very fair with you, and I'm willing to try if we just take it slow. This afternoon was not taking it slow. I know, but if you're willing, there's nothing you could do to make me not willing. He replies and pecks me gently on the cheek. I'll see you later. Oh, and one more thing. I remember trying not to blush. Yes, you have to stop acting like an abusive boyfriend. Abusive boyfriend? Yeah. Overly possessive, jealous, tries to make all the decisions in the relationship. We are the same age, and I know I'm new to this, but I should be part of your life too. I should get a say in things that concerns me. He runs a hand through his hair, darker than its usual brown with sweat. I can promise you that I'll consult you with decisions, but I can't promise you anything about the jealous part. He cracks a grin. Involuntarily, I smile as well and begin walking away. Turning my head to address him as I go, I add a quick remark. One step at a time. I giggle and stroll off, feeling accomplished with the beginning of my solution to the situation. Come to me, Kimbriella. The voice cuts through everything else, its clear precision uncanny. Riker, I say uncertainly, peering through the fog. I know it's not Riker. I would recognize his voice. Riker, the voice scoffs. Riker, no, foolish girl, I am far more powerful than your silly Riker. What does that have to do with anything? I ask. You were a fool not to abide by the plan. What plan? And because of it you will pay. You aren't making sense. I exclaim, throwing my hands up in the air. Sense has nothing to do with it. And if you don't do what I ask, your pretty boy will pay too. Riker, don't you dare threaten him. The mysterious, foreboding voice takes on a ghost-like quality, becoming haunting. All you have to do is what I will ask of you, and no one will get hurt. The voice trails off as I sit up straight in my bed, startled and soaked with sweat. Last night it had taken me forever to fall asleep, no clue why, and once I had fallen asleep, it had been in fitful, 15-minute intervals, and finally, this creepy dream. Reluctantly, I peek over at the clock. 3:54 a.m. Great. Exhaling slowly, I place my arms behind my head and recline back on the pillows. My newly sensitive hearing picks up the sound of footsteps, shuffling gently across the hard wood flooring of the hallway. Standing up, I swing both feet over the edge of the bed and put them on the ground. Snaking my head around the doorframe, I catch the back of Riker's form disappearing into the bathroom. Water begins to run, and I can hear him slurping from the sink. Holding back, a giggle eye slips silently outside the bathroom door. When he emerges, I grab him, one hand firmly over his mouth and the other around his waist. Freeze, or I'll make you eat peaches. He stops his useless freaking out and thrashing as he recognizes my voice. Holy crap, Kimbriella. I release him and he turns around. I had almost a heart attack. Why are you even up? I could ask you the same thing. I point out, quirking an eyebrow and trying to figure out his answer that didn't involve telling him about the nightmare. I was thirsty. At my giggle, he rolls his eyes. Geez, you know what I mean. For water. Anyways, why are you up? He stumbles over his word choice, turning the focus to me. I haven't been able to sleep very well at all, I admit. Technically, this isn't a lie. You should be. He yells back. Do your worst, I challenge. Oh, I will, he promises, jogging up the stairs. Since I have nothing better to do, I go and take a shower, bringing an outfit from my suitcase as well as my radio. It's a habit of mine to listen to music during showers. I shut the door and strip, turning the volume up, and then the warm water. Stepping in, I relax. Suddenly, one of my favorite songs comes on. The urge to sing is just too strong. If I was Jay-Z, you'd be my Beyoncé. We could rock the nation like they do. And if I was Da Vinci, you'd be Mona Lisa, paint a smile perfectly on you. And if I was James Dean, you could be my Audrey, breakfast at Tiffany's for two. So throw me away, cause if we're a boomerang, I'd turn around and come back to you, back to yawu, yeah. Yawu, yeah. Straining my voice to reach for the high notes, I am barely able to detect the creaking of the door opening. I pause my singing to listen more closely. Is someone there? Brushing it off, I resume singing. That is, until I hear the sound of the door shutting. And I know I'm not imagining that. Shutting off the water hurriedly, I grab the towel off the floor where I left it, drying myself off quickly. I reach out for my clothes. Except my fingers don't touch anything. I look up, certain I'd miss them. Nope. Not an article of clothing to be seen. With a firm tug, I rip the cord of the radio of the wall, cutting of the song. There could only be one culprit. Ryker Jared Aldaine, you are in such hot water, mister. Wrapping the towel tightly around me, I walk back to my room. After all, it wasn't that big of a deal. I had a whole closet full of things, and extras in my suitcases. I shove the closet door aside. Only empty hangers greet me, and even my suitcases are missing. You have got to be kidding me. I hiss under my breath. Slamming the door, I march out of my room and into Riker's, hoping to confront him. Except he's missing. Deciding it would be a bad idea to rampage around the pack house, wearing nothing but a towel. I dig through his drawers. Grabbing a casual, baggy white t-shirt and a dark gray pair of his boxer, I slip them on and go. In search for Riker. After 45 minutes, I'm about ready to give up when a singy-song voice from behind me pipes up. Looking for something, I whirl around and there's Riker, hooking my favorite hot pink sport bra between his fingers. Hand over the bra and nobody gets hurt. I warn him, inching closer. I don't think so. He chuckles and sprints away. I take off after him, pumping my legs. When I get within close distance, I lunge, tackling him to the ground viciously. I rip the bra from his hands and run to any room that locks. Almost falling in my desperation, I dash into the office and lock it. Riker sidles up to the door, smirking. Why are you smirking? I scoff. I have the bra, have fun changing. He grins. I take the time to glance around the room. I have no method of privacy. The 2 glass doors are entirely unhelpful, and the desk and bookshelves are attached to the walls. Crap. I mutter. Oh well. Shucking off the shirt, I place it on the desk in front of me and put on the bra, then rapidly replacing the shirt. I walk out the office doors. Hope you got a nice view of my back. It was, he admits. I slap his arm. Deciding to toy with him a little, I poke him, making my facial expression a curious one. Why did you choose a sports bra instead of some of my attractive undergarments? You have attractive undergarments, he asks, practically drooling. Well, I twirl a lock of my hair in my fingers. No, you creeper. He pauses. When is your birthday? Don't even think about it, I warn, wagging my finger. Why no, you look really great in my clothes. He says huskily, biting his lips. Don't even think about that either, too late. I'm being pulled into him, as he kisses my lips hungrily. Somehow I'm able to resist. Pushing him away, I frown. I said that was a no-no. I'm a bad boy. He grins, cupping my face and brushing his lips over mine ever so slightly. He then turns on his heel and strolls away. A teasing move, completely evil. And he won't get away with it. I give chase, grabbing his shoulders and pushing them so he faces me. I stand up on my tiptoes and wrap my hands around his neck, pulling it down toward me. When it's close enough, I crush his lips to mine with force. He reciprocates just as passionately, making me feel malleable in his arms. He pulls my shirt up slightly, slipping his hands underneath and running them up and down my back and sides. I squirm, sliding my hands from his neck. He reaches my mark and gives it a gentle, seeking pressure. Helplessly, I moan. Embarrassed, I duck my head into his firm chest. He puts a hand under my chin, prying me loose. Sorry. I stare at the ground. That was so attractive. He breathes, molding our lips together once more. Not only does the heat rush to my cheeks, but everywhere else. I burn under his touch, and it isn't fair. I refuse to succumb to his dominance, refuse to have to lower hand. I run my hands over his toned abdomen, feeling each ridge on his hard stomach. He breaks away, the both of us panting heavily. Why'd you stop? I pout, frowning. Because otherwise you wouldn't have a shirt anymore. He mutters, fisting his hands. Aw, am I that good of a kisser? I tease, flipping my hair in mock self-assurance. Yes, he nods fiercely. Yes, you are. Well, you are too, I giggle, crinkling my nose. And you are also a wonderful singer. He grins, bopping my nose. I gasp, narrowing my eyes. You are evil, mwahaha. He lets out his best evil laugh. You're a dork. I roll my eyes. But you're a great kisser, so I'll let it slide. It's the strawberry chapstick, he shrugs. I realize that that's the flavor of chapstick that I have. Was he digging through my suitcase? Oh, you are in hot water. He moves in to kiss me. Nope, no more kisses until I get my clothing back. Fine, he surrenders. Your mom was right. I snicker. Huh, he scrunches his face up, looking at me curiously. I'll quickly learn to bend you to my will. I grin wickedly. He opens his mouth to protest, and then thinks he better of it yet. He rubs the back of his neck. I love it when you do that, I inform him. I love it when you kiss me, he grins back. Nice try. I roll my eyes, walking out of the room. No, I won't do it. I hiss aloud. Do it. My wolf growls back angrily. No. It's only for one night so you don't look sloppy, tired, disgusting, and weak when you meet the other alpha. Who are you even talking to? Riker yells from his room. Shut up, I yell back, irritated. Wisely, he says nothing more. Just go sleep in his bed. I solemnly swear that if you do, I won't ever ask you to do it again. Seriously? Yes, fine. I murmur. I throw off the covers. I shuffle slowly over to his room, kind of stalling. Once I'm right outside, I push it open gently. Who's there? The deep, familiar timbre of Riker's voice greets my ears. Then he sees me. His eyes widen to at least twice their normal size. Kimbriella, shut up. I tell him into bed, climbing carefully. Our legs bump gently. Move over. I growl, flinching away. He inches over quickly, giving me space. Thank you, I say quietly, turning over so I'm not facing him. No problem. He whispers back. There's an awkward silence, but for once I have no witty comment to break it. Tentatively, his hand slips around my waist. Nulla, I inform him, shrugging away from his touch, even if I don't really want to. The only reason I'm here is so that I don't look like total trash tomorrow. The only reason, he asks skeptically. Well, that, and I want a good night's sleep. I mean, you never know. Maybe the alpha will be a cutie. At this, Riker stiffens up, letting out a possessive growl. I giggle, flipping over to face him. Calm down, just joking, you know. Mostly, he narrows his eyes. Not funny, not even a little, no, tough crowd. Again a silence. I shut my eyes, ready to sleep. The awkward tension fills the air between us, thicker with every passing second. I shift, accidentally kneeing Riker in the shin. He swears quietly. Spit it out. I scold him without opening my eyes. What? Swearing is naughty. He makes a spitting noise, and I give him a satisfied thumbs up. You're cute, you know that? You were always beautiful, even that first day. I'm glad it's dark, so he can't see the fervent blush that spreads across my face with lightning speed. And you always smelled good. Even now, he asks, moving a bit closer. I breathe in deeply. Yeah, I agree, pressing my head into his chest and inhaling over and over. It's uncomfortable facing opposite directions, our legs, knees, and feet bumping randomly. He doesn't say anything more, and finally I'm done with the awkwardness. Oh, just get over here. I roll my eyes, cupping his face with both my hands and pressing my lips to his gently. He reciprocates with the same gentle touch, our lips moving in sync. It was a chaste kiss, not like most of ours, which are normally of the passionate variety, but it dissolves the awkwardness. I flip over again, facing away from him, and this time when he places one hand on my hip, I don't shrug it off. Encouraged, he grabs my other hip and pulls me into him. I fit just right, curled up in him, and I fall asleep in record time next to him. Kimbriella. I recognize the voice, it was from my other dream. Leave me alone, I hiss. Not like you can't hurt me anyway. This is just a dream. Well, that's where you're wrong. The voice replies, and I can practically hear the smirk in the words. A ripping sound indicates what is going to happen. An entirely black wolf with eerie orange eyes bursts out of the shadows, pouncing on me before I can even begin shifting. His paw on my throat ceases my articulation with ease. He drags a claw down my leg, slicing the skin. I cry out in pain. Don't say another word. We can do this the easy or the hard way. I don't say anything because I can't. Good, he smirks. Now let me explain. If you care at all about anyone in this pack house, you'll do what I say. The day after tomorrow, you'll leave the pack house at 2:00 in the morning. No later, no earlier. You'll head east at a quick walking pace. You'll walk until we deem you close enough to us and far enough from your pack to come and pick you up. He looks down at me. You absolutely cannot bring anyone with you or inform anyone where you're going, tell them to follow you, anything of that sort. You do so, and you loved ones will pay the price. Once we reach you, you won't fight. Understood? I nod firmly. He sighs. The master won't be happy if I do this. With that, he presses his lips against mine. I shove him off immediately, growling repeatedly. It had felt horrible and wrong, not like Riker at all. How dare you push me away? He screams, his hand flying out to hit me. I just barely duck in time. I can feel something tugging, something not from here, getting more and more insistent, but it isn't quite able to reach me. I can't deal with you any longer. Go back to your stupid Riker, he growls. With that, I succumb to the insistent pull. Kimbriella, Kimbriella. Riker is shaking me awake repeatedly. Kimbriella, wake up, why won't you wake up? Stop, I groan, swatting his hands away. Kimbriella, he throws his hands around me. I couldn't wake you up, and you were growling and screaming in your sleep, Yeth. Bad dream. I sigh, running a hand through my hair. Actually, I didn't really know if it was a dream, but I can't exactly discuss the technicalities of the statement with Riker without giving away everything and putting him in danger. Which I was not going to do. That doesn't explain why you wouldn't wake up. He whispers, yells. Riker, can you just please hold me? I ask, snuggling deeper into his chest. Anything you want, princess. He agrees immediately, almost automatically, kissing the top of my head reassuringly. Thanks, I whisper, closing my eyes. For the first time, sleeping next to Riker refused to come quite so easily. I squint as I attempt to open my eyes, the sunlight streaming through a crack in the curtains that cover the window. I realize quickly that this is my last day with Riker. Possibly ever. Impulsively, I swing my leg over Riker's chest, sprawling myself over him, and kiss him quickly on the neck. He wakes up almost immediately. He groans, his morning voice making my stomach flutter a bit. Simon, get up. I encourage him, tugging on his arm. Well, good morning. He grins, assessing the situation. Crawling off him quickly, I smile over my shoulder at him. Let's go. What's up with you? He chuckles, raising an eyebrow attractively. Is it so weird to want to spend time with you? I flutter my eyelashes. Yes, he crosses his arms. Too bad. Hurry up. I say impatiently. Fine, I'm coming. Brush your teeth. I encourage, literally shoving him toward the bathroom. But I didn't eat breakfast, neither did I. Get over it. I say bluntly, squeezing a bit of toothpaste onto my toothbrush. Okay, he agrees wisely. Once we finish, spitting into the sink and rinsing, I jump onto his back. Go forth. I yell for emphasis, smacking him on the backside, causing him to jerk forward. Where? He asks. Take me on a date? What? Yes, we have 2 hours until our alpha meeting thingy. Let's go on a date. How about we just hang out for now and then the real date later? Fine. What's your favorite movie? I don't watch movies. I gape at him incredulously. What do you mean? Alpha duties keep you busy, he shrugs. We are changing that. Right now, to the living room. I don't want to go down the stairs with you on my back. What if I fell? I don't want to walk. I pout, enjoying the feel of his toned shoulder and back muscles beneath me. I'll carry you, he offers. Yes, I exclaim, hopping down. He scoops me up, a hand under my knees and one supporting my back, leaving me curled against his chest, bridal style. He starts down the stairs carefully, taking each step slowly. Can I feel your stomach muscles? I giggle, poking his stomach. Are you affected by lack of sleep? He peers at me closely. No, silly, I giggle again. So can I. He pauses our progress to think for a moment, then starts again. Once we reach the bottom, I don't want to get distracted and fall. He informs me, looking faintly embarrassed. A small smile graces my lips at this admission of my effect on him. It was nice to know that I even had some sort of effect on him. Fine, I stick out my bottom lip but recover quickly. Want to know something? I don't know, he eyes me warily. Well, you're going to. Riker is a very hot name, and it is very fitting. I poke his nose as we reach the bottom of the stairs. Did you just indirectly call me hot? He smirks. Depends. Stop moving. He halts and I draw up his shirt, tracing patterns across his visible, defined six-pack. He shivers lightly. Okay, continue. You have good abs, therefore you're hot. He moves again, rolling his eyes. Is that really how all females determine hotness? Yes, I nod. Women, he scoffs, setting me on the couch and moving to a chair. Nuo, sit with me. I beg at the risk of sounding clingy. Seriously, what's going on? He wonders aloud but doesn't argue. Any thoughts? I ask, flipping down the list of movies. Not Maze Runner, he growls. I scrunch up my nose. Fine, how about? Oh my goodness, yes, the proposal, okay, we are watching this. I click on it. What happened to asking for my opinion? He snickers. Well, this is sort of my favorite movie, like ever, so we're watching it. I never knew that about you, he admits, tucking a strand of hair behind my ear. Shut up and watch. I instruct him firmly. slapping away his hands while my eyes remain firmly fixed on the screen. You know, I could draw so many parallels between this movie and our life. He says, eyes flickering to me. Our life. Those two words make me press a little closer to him, snuggling deeper into his chest. Our life. Two words would never sound better. And yet Mystery Man had to go and mess it up. On screen, Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock kiss, and Riker wiggles his eyebrows. You idiot. I roll my eyes, inching closer. But you love me. He sing-songs. Yeah, I do, I whisper quietly. His eyes go wide with shock, and to avoid the awkwardness, I kiss him. Somehow, this was different from other kisses. It was slower, yet somehow with all the passion of our fast-paced, hungry, desire-filled kisses. Breaking apart, he cups my face. Kimbriella. SHH. Don't talk. I interrupt, kissing him fiercely. This is always a good distraction, and whatever he was going to say is lost between our kisses, which start and just don't stop. He puts slight pressure on my back, encouraging me closer. I move onto his lap. Sitting, I'm closer to his height, and able to reach it, I twine my fingers in his hair, slowly at first, then with a bit more force. His fingers tighten on my back as he makes a sound of pleasure into my mouth. I giggle into the heated kiss as his hand move with seeking purpose. Intent on closeness, his hands move lightly up my back. The touch, ever so slight, not only tickles, but drives me crazy. I press my fingernails gently into his back, my hands exploring his form. He laughs into the kiss, understanding my distress. I adjust my position in his lap, causing him to shift uncomfortably. It's my turn to giggle, and I tug on his shorts, pulling him closer. I gasp quietly as he raises my shirt higher. Holy crap. As masculine voice exclaims. I practically jump out of his lap, and Riker looks just as horrified. Oh. He breathes. Hey, listen. I just wanted to tell you that it's about time to leave for your appointment with the Alpha. Riker seems kind of speechless, so I decide to answer. All right. Thanks, Beta. Don't call me that. He pouts, but jokingly. I know he secretly enjoys the nickname. Get up. I pull gently on Riker's arm. No, thank you. You could come back. Please. We can finish this later. I have to get dressed into something that isn't pajamas. I don't know, I like this outfit. Taking a quick inventory, I'm astonished to find that my shirt had never fallen all the way back down, exposing a bit of my stomach, and my shorts were wrinkled and rolled up and very, very short. Shut up, I growl, making some rapid outfit adjustments. I pull my hair up into a quick ponytail, scanning through my wardrobe. What's appropriate for meeting an Alpha? You look good in everything, just pick something. Riker drones, sounding bored. Fine, Finny, I say, ignoring his compliment. Quickly I pick out an outfit consisting of a casual pink tank top with a matching skirt and flats. Is a skirt fancy enough? It looks very, very nice. He approves, staring at my figure as I twirl. Go get dressed. I snort, resisting the urge to roll my eyes yet again. HMPH. He grumbles, but does as I say. Returning in tan khaki shorts and a white shirt, how he manages to look attractive without even trying is beyond me. Time to go. Listen calls from downstairs. Coming. I call back, bouncing down the stairs a moment later. I hear a chuckle from Riker from behind me. What's so funny? I glare at him, furrowing my eyes. Tell you later. He mouths. I raise an eyebrow in suspicion, but agree. So what's our goal exactly? I ask as we get in the car. Alyssum waves while we pull away of the driveway. We've owned this piece of land, adjoining another territory for years and years. All of a sudden, they started fighting over claiming it was rightfully yours. Alyssum and I feel it would be right to include you, for you to start taking on Luna duties. A pang of sadness fill me, but I shrug it off quickly. Okay. Let's do this thing. I nod firmly. That's the spirit. He grins at me, before returning his attention to driving. A little bit later, we pull into a driveway, revealing a large house. Not quite as big as our pack house, but reasonably large. I shove open the door, being careful not to slam it. Do we just go up and ring the doorbell? I giggle nervously. Don't be nervous. He comforts, rubbing my back gently while we walk toward the door. He'll be great. The ease with which he's able to read my emotions is almost scary. I give him a thin smile before rapping on the door with my knuckles. Right this way. A girl curtsies as she opens the door. Mr. and Mrs. Aldane. Actually, I'm still Miss Canterbury. I inform her, holding back a giggle. I'm so sorry, she splutters, unsure of what to say. It's perfectly all right. You didn't know. I smile gently. I'm rewarded with a quick smile before she turns to lead us to her alpha. She guides us to a small, cozy office, ready with 2 chairs. A short, balding man sits behind a desk, cluttered with papers and a gorgeous, stained glass lamp. Will you be wanting something? She asks politely. 2 water, please. Riker takes over, using his commanding alpha voice. He looks at me for confirmation, and I nod. She dips her head respectfully and exits the room. Mr. Aldane. The man says nervously. It gives me a bit comfort that he seems to be as nervous, if not more, that me. Call me Riker. Riker nods. Under most circumstances, this would cut through tension, but the way he says it is intimidating. The man nods quickly. And the lady wishes to be called. Kimbriella. I smile, making an effort to be charming and friendly. Hello, miss. He smiles back, seeming a bit more at ease. So, Riker hesitates. What's your name again? L. Lawrence. Lawrence. Riker rolls the name around his tongue. I hear you've been making a bid for our land. Why, yes. Lawrence stumbles over his words. Why? Because we feel it's rightfully ours. The same girl from before walks in with our drinks. I smile at her, and she smiles nervously back. Rightfully yours. Riker pounds his fist on the man's desk, shaking it so hard the lamp falls off and hits the ground, the glass shattering into dozens of tiny pieces. What on earth would give you the impression? Riker. I interrupt quietly, rubbing his back gently, as he had done minutes before. He shuts his mouth, taking deep, calming breaths. Lawrence gives me a grateful look. What he means to say is that his land has been Aldane property for many years, and we don't quite understand why you want the land. Also, we will be quite willing to replace that lamp with one of at least equivalent quality. Thank you. He smiles thinly. We were simply looking to expand our territory. Riker opens his mouth to speak. Strategically, I place my hand on his shoulder in warning. I suggest, he says, voice barely concealed hostility, that you expand someplace that isn't on our territory, or else. What he means. I insert my own, kinder twist. Is that if you could possibly expand in a different direction, we would be extremely grateful. We don't want to take action, but we will if we have to. We will back off. He nods fiercely. You won't find us bothering you again. We would love if you might visit again, with the lady, of course. Absolutely. I smile sweetly. We would be honored. Thank you for your time. I tug Riker out of his chair, escorting him out. Thanks. He mutters, raking a hand through his dark hair. For what? For handling it better than I would have. For helping me not rip that man's head off. SHH. I hush him, glancing around. Panicking for his anger, I do the rational thing. Kiss him and make him shut up. A simple peck on his lips silence him. We'll talk in the car. I promise him, shutting the door behind us. Deal. He pecks my cheek. We would be honored. You suck up. It worked, didn't it? I hiss, slapping his arm. It was only because you're pretty. He pouts, opening my car door for me. Aw, don't worry. You're pretty too. I assure him. He glares at me, and I giggle. Very pretty. He strokes my hair gently, soothingly. I close my eyes, relax. That feels good. I murmur, tipping my head back to look at him. It feels good to not be fighting with you. He informs me with a half chuckle. Should I get ready for our date? I ask, opening my eyes to drink him in. upside down and just as gorgeous as ever. Yeah. He kisses the top of my head. Don't come back downstairs until I call you, okay? I crinkle my nose in confusion but nod, agreeing. Fancy or not, I call as I walk out of the bedroom. Not, he yells back. I make a face at my shirt and run upstairs in a rush to get out of it. Searching through my suitcase, I quickly decide on a casual black V-neck, but can't find any shorts I feel like wearing. I shuffle over to Riker's room and locate a pair of long shorts that look extremely comfortable. I slip them on. I sit on my bed while I wait for Riker to calm me down. Nothing to distract me from my inevitable fate, and that just when Riker and I had started to make progress. I gasped softly. We had started to make progress. And all today, all I had been doing was leading him on. How selfish was I? Stupid, I scolded myself. In the end, it would hurt him more. There was no way I was going on a date, giving him hope. I needed to go downstairs, right now, and make up some excuse. Determined, I marched down the stairs and into the living room where I had left him. Well, I tried to. Walking down the stairs, I make it to the kitchen before being blocked by several members of the pack. From what I can see, the entire kitchen and living room are filling up with people. What the heck was going on? This only reinforces my need to find where Riker is. Excuse me. I grumble repeatedly as I shove my way through the crowd. Finally, I see his familiar mop of dark hair through the mob. Riker, his head jerks up and he slips something into his back pocket. Kimbriella, what are you doing down here? His face looks a bit strained. What the heck is going on here? I dodge the question. He sighs, running a hand through his hair, but I can sense his underlying excitement and happiness. I might as well do it now. He smirks adorably. Do what? I don't even know how I'm able to hear it over the roar of the crowd around us. Riker bends down on one knee. He brings a small, velvet box out of his pocket and opens it to reveal a stunning diamond ring. My wolf jumps for joy inside me. Say yes, say YESSS. Kimbriella, from the moment I met Riker, I interrupt. It breaks my heart that he so expected me to say yes. No, I shiver, one of those random shivers that just pop out of nowhere at inopportune times. The lump in my throat prevents me from speaking anymore. I blink back the hot tears prickling in my eyes. I can't do this. Shoving through the crowd desperately, I stumble, the tears almost blinding me. After an eternity, I break through them, sprinting up the stairs. The hot tears roll down my face, their salty taste unfamiliar. I couldn't remember the last time I cried. Stupid Riker and his stupid freaking marriage proposals. Slamming the door with a ferocity I can't believe I possess. I throw myself on the bed, the tears now uncontrollable. My sides heave and heave as I gasp desperately for air. I bit my lip harshly to stop the tears, so harshly, in fact, that it draws blood. The metallic tang of it fills my mouth. I whisk my tears away with the back of my hand, disgusted with myself. Feeling horrible, I smash my hand into the mirror, shattering it into 1,000 pieces. Oh good, it matches my heart, I say bitterly, ignoring the steady flow of blood from several cuts. A rap on the door interrupts my self-pity party. Against all sane logic, I open the door. Riker. My heart stops. The heartbroken expression on his face is unbearable. Even my wolf, who I'm fairly certain is ignoring me, can't help but let out a whine. Can you explain why you rejected me in front of the whole pack? Forget the whole pack. Why you rejected me? He scans me, no doubt taking in my disheveled state. Your hand, and your lip. He reaches out to touch my lip, but I flinch away. Don't touch me. He winces, and each fragment of my heart splits in half again. Can I please have some sort of explanation? He begs. I know what I have to do. Forgive me, please. I beg him silently, in preparation for what I'm about to do. I close my eyes to steel myself. One mistake, and it wouldn't work. Ready. I open my eyes, all traces of tears, hurt, or sympathy gone. I let out a laugh. How I'm able to force this, I have no clue. Oh, Riker. I turn the corners of my lips up, the closest I can get myself to smile. You are so naive. Kimbriella, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the part where I never loved you. I never even liked you. His eyes fill with shock as I deliver the most important speech of my life. These past few months where we've fallen in love. Entirely fake. Goodness gracious, you're so pathetic. Love doesn't develop within 2 months, and not everything will have a happy ending. I warned you that I wouldn't fall for you, and yet you kept trying. I warned you, but you didn't listen. You'll deserve everything that's coming to you, every bit of heartbreak, for scaring off the love of my life. I almost lose it here, but force myself to continue. Almost there. Keenan is the only guy I'll ever love. You should have let me reject you the day we met. Do it then. Right now. He surprisingly says. I bite my lip, then quickly release it. I'll do it tomorrow, in front of everyone, so there can be no doubt about the breaking of the truce between my pack and yours. After that, I'll be out of here. He swallows, trying to control himself. It breaks my heart even more. As you wish, he says. Thank you, I nod. Somehow he conjures up a weak grin. I've got to hand it to you, you played it well. I would have believed it. The grin disappears. You sure are a heartbreaker, Kimbriella Canterbury. And with that he turns away. I don't even bother to watch where he is going, only shut the door and collapse on the bed again, emotionally exhausted. It was the only way to ensure that he wouldn't come after you. I reassure myself. I want to scream and cry, rush out to Riker and kiss him and tell him the truth. But I can't. Hate rushes up, enveloping me so strongly spots dance across my vision. The people who wanted me. Whoever they were, whatever they wanted me for. They were going to pay. And I would never bend to their will, no matter what it cost me. I would come to them, but they would not like what they were going to find. And unlike Riker, they really do deserve every bit of what's coming to them. I stare at the digital clock, the vile red numbers burning my retinas. 1:58 a.m., 2 minutes until I was supposed to be on my way. I bite the inside of my cheek, pacing the room. This was stupid. I could tell Riker we were a big pack, right? I sigh. I gaze around the room, moonlight streaming through the window I had opened a few minutes before, the light breeze fluttering the curtains and cooling the room, searching for some memento I could bring with me, something to remind me of my time here. I want to get this little token. I'm risking getting caught. Peeking around the corner of the doorway, I scope out the hallway. Empty. Selfishly, I continue, strolling into Riker's room. Heading towards the nightstand drawer. Heart beating more quickly, I ease open the drawer slowly. A velvet box sits inside, half covered by random bits of paper shoved in. Hand shaking, I draw it out. My fingers work to slowly pry it open. Sitting inside is the ring my ring. Or is it? Placed carefully inside. I remove it, pressing it into my palm. I snap the box shut and put it back in the drawer, closing it. I leave the room at a fast-paced walk, re-entering my own room. I shut the door and lock it, hoping it will buy me a bit of time in the morning. Quickly, I snatch the paper and pen that I had prepared for this moment. I write rapidly, knowing I don't have much time. Please, everyone, only read the section with your name, or else Brinley will hurt you. Brinley, you're my bee girly. You're so crazy and fun, and I can't possibly describe how great you are in this one stupid little note, but you're wonderful. Protect Ashalyn and obsess over her baby children. Beat up anyone who reads a section that isn't titled with their name. Ashalyn, you're the sweetest, most caring friend a girl could ever ask for. Have some cute little children for Brinley to obsess over, Kay. Listen, you hurt Ashalyn and you're a dead man. If not, feel free to have cute little baby children, Beta. Take care of Riker for me, will ya? Anne, thanks so much for all your support and advice. I appreciate the help, even if it didn't work out so well in the end. You would have made a fantastic mother-in-law. I'm so sorry. Cynthia and Trey, have fun with your baby child and get Anne to help you, because I'm telling you she's the man. Well, woman, actually, but that wouldn't have sounded as good, and it's a great move. Anyways, good luck and best of wishes. Riker, it's not your fault. I'm sorry. I love you. I scribble out the last 3 words with a vengeance, making certain no one will ever be able to read them. Laying the note in the middle of the bed for everyone to see, I move to the window and swing my feet over the sill, preparing for the jump. Not letting myself think about it, I jump. I walk through the pitch black, off to meet the creep. About 3.5 hours later, I come to the top of a hill. The sun is rising, painting the sky with various pinks and oranges that combine to make a gorgeous landscape. Fingering my neck, I feel like I can relate to the lone wolf that graces my neck, witnessing the sunrise. I drop my fingers and continue on the journey, refusing to get caught up in any memories that would do me no good. After I had taken a trip to the stupid bar, I had somehow managed to stumble home, pretty wasted. A few girls had tried to make moves on me, but one growl and they backed off real fast. Where had I gone wrong? Shuffling my way back to my room slowly. I peek at the clock. 8:43. Wonderful, 17 minutes until Kimbriella got to reject me in front of the pack, and I look and feel like trash. I don't even know if I can stand her rejecting me at all, much less in front of other people, and forget about the whole pack. From the looks of it, her door was still locked, so I decide to knock on it, make sure she's ready. Get it over with as fast as possible. Kim, I call softly, trying to keep my voice from cracking. I couldn't call her Kimbriella. I couldn't. It was too intimate. There was no response. It's about time for the thing, you ready? Still none. Seriously, if you don't respond, I'm coming in. It's starting to freak me out now. I shove my shoulder against the door, and it quickly falls to desperate charges. Kim, the room is empty and the window is open. She's gone. I slam my fist into the wall, with such force it makes a fist-shaped indentation. I see a piece of paper, smack dab in the center. Curiously, I amble over, my foot staining bits of the carpet a lovely crimson color. Picking it up, I read the first line. Please, everyone, only read the section with your name, or else Brinley will hurt you. I skim the list until I find my name last. What's that supposed to mean? Warily, I begin reading, expecting some insult, icing on the pain and humiliation cake, the rejection she had spoke of in writing instead of out loud. Instead, I get 2 lines. Riker, it's not your fault. I'm sorry. What the heck was that supposed to mean? Riker, I whirl around, clutching the note behind my back. Mom, I say, relaxing. Let me see it. See what? She rolls her eyes. Riker, I'm your mother. You can't hide things from me. Give me the paper. Reluctantly, I hand it over. I see her scan it quickly. To my confusion, her eyes begin to moisten with tears. I snatch the note away, determined to read whatever had made my mother cry. Don't you dare. My mother growls, slapping my hand with such force the note flutters to the ground. What did you do, Riker? You look guilty, looking around the mess in the room. The wall. I frown, pointing at the indentation of my fist. What am I going to do with you? She sighs, throwing her hands up. Goddess help this poor idiot. Mother. I gape. Oh, hush. She scolds, eyes shiny with tears again. I could have had a daughter-in-law. Are you saying it's my fault? I demand, feeling myself getting angry to the point of shifting and unable to stop it. Heavens no. She laughs and I raise an eyebrow. I'm saying that's why I'm crying, so there's no need for you to read the note. I'm sorry, I murmur awkwardly. Don't be sorry, she scoffs, walking out the door. Just get her back. She made it very clear that was the exact opposite of her every intention. I growl. My mother shrugs. I didn't raise you to give up. If you love her, don't let her go. Lacking a response, I glare at her mutely. She smiles, her curtain of brown hair falling over one eye before she tosses it away and exits. Less than a minute later, Brinley walks in and promptly scoops up the note. You talked to my mother? Yeah, go away, I have express permission to hurt you. Leave, that's only if shut up and go. She furrows her eyebrows, completely floored at this lack of respect. I leave. I stormed down the steps and out the back door to my wood pile, literally ripping my shirt off, and begin to chop like crazy. Hey, you. Since I'm the only person out here currently, I stopped chopping the woods. What? I hiss, turning around, facial expression definitely conveying my annoyance. Brinley laughs. Forget about your man period for 1 second and listen, you dingbell. I open my mouth to say something, but she continues. I don't want to hear about whoever pissed in our Cheerios, just listen. I nod. Good. She smiles brightly, clapping her hands. Okay, here it is. You are a total idiot. I am not talking to you. I yell, my voice getting embarrassingly high-pitched. She snickers. I glare back at her. Yes, you are. She narrows her eyes, getting close and pokes my chest for emphasis. You are really stupid. Okay, fine, hit me with it. Why am I stupid? A lot of reasons, but one main one. You must be the most idiotic person I have ever met if you seriously believe that Kimbriella doesn't care for you. I stare at her, open-mouthed. She smiles. Really, idiot, think back to that night. I know exactly which night she's talking about, and I shake my head. No, I say stubbornly. Yes, shove away your own emotions and focus on hers, or however the mate bond works. Why? I glare at her. What good will that do? Since the mate bond doesn't lie. I never loved you, the words hit me like a ton of bricks, and yet I feel the hurt radiating off her too. Notice for the first time, the unshed tears shining in her beautiful eyes. She felt hurt too, I whisper. Now you get it, she says. Something obviously happened, and it had nothing to do with you. I bit my lip, wondering what had happened. So we are going to find her and figure it out. You in this? She extends a hand, her eyes full of hope. I grab her hand and shake it, determined. Deal. Staring out the ground as I walk, somehow I still manage to stumble as I hear the faint sound of a motor in the distance. I guess that meant they were coming for me. Sighing, I sit down, carefully fingering the ring in my pocket. No sense in walking anymore, when they are already on their way. After a few minutes, a small vehicle appears, bumping over the hilly landscape. I continue to watch, and as they get closer, I can make more detail. Both were male, had remarkably similar builds. I blanch when I recognize them. Well, one at least. Are you guys twins? I tilt my head. They look a tad bit taken aback at this unusual greeting. Yeah, what's it to you? The one driving questions me rudely. I shrug. Just curious. Sorry about him. He's in a bad mood. The other twin speaks up, glancing at me apologetically. Permanently. Hey, the annoying, standoffish remarks. Hey, what? I know you're the one from my dream, you creep. I glare at him. I'm Cadden, and the not-so-nice one is Decker. The kinder twin speaks up kindly. Get in, says Decker shortly. Excuse me, I said get in. Don't speak to me that way ever again. He scoffs at this. Why would I listen to you? We're the ones taking you prisoner. Because I'm the one who was born with alpha blood, and my mate I extend my neck, showing off my mark. Is also an alpha who could cut you to pieces if I called him. I could shift and run away, and you wouldn't be able to catch me. As is, I could leave, and you wouldn't be able to stop me. I'd raise up the pack army and attack. Not that I know we're close to the general area of your hideout. So you'd better shut your mouth before I escape, or your boss'll have your head. How do you know I'm not the boss? He asks indignantly. Because you don't have enough brains to be behind the whole operation, I say dryly. At the very least, you and your brother are partners, but I'm not seeing that either. No, you'll be taking me to your boss. Now scooch over so I can sit. Gaping, Decker stares at me. Cadden shoulders him over, making room. I sit down. Now drive already. Numbly, he presses the gas pedal and we take off. I gaze up at the huge house, almost as big as our pack house. Funny, I thought we were unusually big for a pack. Which others could be using a house this big, with so much land? You might want to hurry. A soft voice startles me. I hadn't heard Cadden creeping up. That guy was like a ninja. Super stealthy. The boss hates waiting. With the warning, he moves ahead of me, brown hair ripping in the self-created wind caused by walking. It was brown, but more of a sandier, lighter brown, definitely lighter than Riker's. His hair was longer than his brother's, and they shared skin tones, as well as body types medium height, but definitely toned underneath their shirts. You could tell, especially because of the shapely forearms that extend from their t-shirts. And I could feel it too, when Decker's muscled physique bumped me from behind on his way to the doorstep. Was that really necessary? I sigh as I begin to head after him. He turns around to respond, his white teeth glistening in the light of the rising sun. Was it really necessary to break away from my kiss in the dream? Duh. I roll my eyes. Then yes, he sniffs arrogantly and shuts the door in my face. Very mature. I yell, opening it again. I come face to face with the last person I had anticipated meeting. Ryan Homelock. Fittingly, he greets me in stereotypical evil mastermind fashion. Well, we meet again, Kimbriella Canterbury. I awkwardly remove my hand from Brinley's grip. So, where do we start? She stares at me disdainfully. Do you watch no crime TV shows? No. I'm constantly busy with alpha duties, since you clearly have no idea what to do, I'm taking over. I know this might be a little difficult for you, since you're the hotshot, used to always being in charge. Mr. Alpha, all that jazz. I steam at this description. Of course I'm in charge. I roar. That's what being the alpha means. Unfazed, she continues. In this investigation, you're not okay. Like I said, you don't know a thing about how to go about doing this, so I'm hereby stripping you of your title. When you're around me, you can't strip me of my title, as you put it. I scoff at her ridiculous behavior. I can and I will. You want to find her. Then hand me your keys and follow along. She motions, heading straight for my car. Huffing in annoyance, I follow. Kimbriella, I hope we find you fast, because I don't know how much longer I can deal with your friend. I mumble mentally. My wolf chooses to respond, despite the fact that I wasn't talking to him. Poor human boy that has to deal with her. I laugh aloud. Agreed, Sawyer. Agreed. What's so funny? She calls from my car. Nothing, I say quickly to avoid incurring more of her wrath. Hurry up, time's a-wasting. Rolling my eyes, a habit I had rapidly picked up from Kimbriella, I follow. I would say it's nice to see you, but it's not. I inform him, shutting the door behind me despite the strong urge to flee at the sight of him. I would show no fear. I would be brave and protect Riker and my family. He chuckles, so different from the warm, hearty sound of Riker's laugh, chills me to the bone. I wouldn't expect anything different. He proceeds to examine my day-old outfit of a t-shirt and Riker's shorts, making me feel rather uncomfortable. Are those your shorts? No, I scoff, resisting the urge to blush. Why would I blush? I had no reason to be ashamed of wearing Riker's clothing. Well, actually, I might have, but I definitely was not wearing his clothes for that reason. Didn't I'm still. It's not what it looks like, I stutter. Decker laughs, but a quick glare from Ryan stops him real fast. You just happen to be wearing his clothes. Reluctant to discuss why, I go for a simple answer. Yes, to my utter relief, nobody presses. Then let's get you changed, sweetheart. I cringe at the pet name, sounding so wrong coming from his mouth. But I protest, not wanting to leave the smell of Riker behind. No buts, you ought to be presentable. For what? You'll see, dearie, you'll see. Cautiously, I follow him up a flight of stairs and then up another, after that to a room directly left of the staircase. As he flicks on the lights, I can see that it's a giant walk-in closet with tons of clothing, the largest section being dresses, which I make a face at. Perhaps I should be excited to having my own wardrobe, but instead I flinch. How long had he been expecting and planning for my arrival? Pick a dress, any dress. I'd rather not wear a dress if that's okay. No, he booms, eyes darting around the room. If you don't want to pick one, I will. Somehow I got the feeling that this conversation is going exactly where he wants and anticipates it'll go. I need to change that. On second thought, I'll actually pick my own dress. He leafs through them, seeming looking for one in particular, only adding to my suspicions that he has something planned. No, don't move an inch. Here it is. The deep green fabric was dazzling, as were the tiny silver beads in the upper right corner of the dress. Go, put it on. Must I? Now, it was terrifying how he switched from fatherly to angry in a half-second. Obliging, I hurry to the nearest room, shutting and locking the door behind me. After a quick glance around, to assure that mine is the only presence in the room, I strip and put on the long green gown. It's so long that it covers my feet with ease, but not by as much as I had expected. It almost seems made for me. The tied bow over my left shoulder is currently hidden by the unruly fierce waves of my hair, which had curled crazily in the afternoon humidity. Mermaid style, it hugs all my curves and then curves out sharply at the bottom, creating an elegant look. I look elegant, powerful, sophisticated, a whole lot of things that I never look. I feel a strange, special connection to the dress. With a pair of short heels, the dress will be perfect. Exiting the room, I head back to the closet. So beautiful, like your mother. My head snaps up to stare at him coldly. My mother, you knew her. Ah, yes. A long time ago we were friends. Here, take these heels. The gleaming silver, open-toed, 3-inch heels are perfect accent for it. I spin around, the fabric twirling with me. In fact, this was her dress once. Freezing, I stop twirling. I'm wearing a dead woman's dress. My dead mother's dress. While that explains my strange connection to the dress, it's also undeniably creepy. That seems somehow wrong. Nonsense, dear. Come along now. Time to meet some people. Who, curious like your mother. I don't like this tone of voice when he talks about my mother. It gets all dark and creepy. Like maybe the reason my mom was dead was because of her curiosity. Patience, that was creepy too. Everything about this guy is creepy. Retracing our steps down the staircase, he guides me to another room, furnished with a long, long table that could seat maybe 100 people, and an exquisite chandelier that sparkles and lights the room. Cadden and Decker stand in the corner. What is this for? Patience, he roars. I resist the urge to flinch. I can't let my friends and family down. Yes, sir. Don't call me sir. It makes me feel old, he mutters irritably. Yes, okay. Take a seat at the head of the table. I don't ask why, since I would only get a patience in reply, or perhaps some screamed lecture, or another odd fact about my mother. Maybe my father this time. Instead, I walk over, trying not to stumble in the heels, a foreign concept to me. A warm hand on my arm saves me from actually falling over. I glance up at the owner of the hand. Cadden. Thanks. I say, offering a soft smile. My pleasure. He responds, unsmiling. I wonder if I've done something, but can't think of a thing. Decker pulls out my chair, a bored expression on his face. Thank you, I murmur. He eyes the dress. I smooth it with my hands, feeling awkward. Why are you all dolled up? He asks, his eye contact with my body breaking. I know as much as you do, I say, shrugging. Thank you for your help. He rolls his eyes. I'm about to respond with a biting retort when people suddenly start to flood into the room. What on earth? They all begin to bow their heads submissively. To me. Astonished. I glance around the room. You can stand up now. No, Ryan again. Let them show their respect. Why? Again with the questions. He glares at me. I don't back down this time. Seriously, why? Because you are their alpha, the only remaining heir. Say what all the pieces suddenly fall into place. This is my pack. The pack I was born into. The Canterbury pack. Oh crap. This is more complicated than I had anticipated. This better be a lot easier if you just hand me the stupid keys. Brinley huffs, tucking a strand of her oddly colored hair behind her hair. I'd never seen anything like it. It was right in between blonde and brown, but it wasn't dirty blonde. I almost wanted to say it was more brown. Ryker. I snap out of that train of thought quickly. We had been arguing about who was going to drive my car for the last 50 minutes. I absolutely refused to hand over the keys, and she was just as stubborn about refusing to get in the car. I am not giving you the keys. Yes, you are. Give me one good reason why I should. How I'd hated when my parents had used those very same words against me as a child. You don't know where we're going, and I do. She smirks smugly. I groan aloud. It's insane, really, how vexing a 5'7" woman could be. You crash my car, or so help me, put one little dent or scratch in it and you're dead. Dead, you hear me? Loud and clear, sir. She snickers, mock saluting me. I clench my jaw and sit down in the passenger seat, only refraining from slamming the door because 1, I had only recently replaced the window that Kimbriella had shattered, and 2, I love this car. She peels out of the driveway at faster speed than I had ever dared go with this car. Careful, I yelp, gripping the armrests. The girl is insane. Is the big bad alpha afraid? She coos, whipping around a turn. I flinch as we narrowly avoid a stop sign. You're going to break my car, or get us pulled over by cops. Yes. I am afraid. She's going to wreck my car, my baby, and get us both killed or arrested. Lighten up, worrywart. We'll be fine. Famous last words, I think to myself. Okay, fine. I sigh, though it's not fine. Where are we going? You're not going to like it. She warns, taking her eyes off the road to grin at me. Watch. I holler. She turns her attention back to the road, silent. I groan again. Tell me, we're going to Keenan's house. I gape at the realization. My true pack. My parents had led this pack. This was a great opportunity to learn more about them, the kind of people or wolves I suppose that they had been. Finally, they all rise, taking their seats at the table. Decker sits to my right, Cadden to my right, indicating beta status. Ryan is one down from Cadden. Perhaps he was the Delta. Every seat was full. This is only a fraction of the members of your pack. He grins. Don't quite understand why he's so excited about it. Great. I offer a half smile. Kimbriella, it's so great to have you back. An older lady with a tanned, weathered face stands up, her wrinkles bunching as she smiles. It must have been hard to deal with a stuck-up alpha pup that you hated. Is that what Ryan told them? That they were rescuing me? I open to defend Riker, to tell the truth, when Ryan interrupts. Yes, Kimbriella here was so distressed, she came to help for me. He nods at her, face sincere, and gives me a hard look with a clear message. You tell the truth, and we won't hesitate to carry out our initial threat. Isn't that right, Kim? Yeah. I mutter. So, you see, Kim here has come back to lead us, that is, until her grand plan is put into action. My grand plan. What on earth is he talking about? Each wolf has a smile on their face at the mention of it. My grand plan. I whisper to him. Shut up, I'll explain later. He hisses out of the corner of his mouth. Decker smirks, and Cadden glances at me worriedly. I wonder about their parents, what they had been like to raise 2 sons that were such polar opposites. I make a mental note to ask one of them later, maybe both. While Decker possessed the exterior toughness that makes it seem hard to approach him, Cadden is quieter, more mysterious, and more likely to keep things close. She will now give a short speech. A speech. I swing my head to his direction, trying to convey how much I despise public speaking, not to mention the fact that I have nothing prepared. Every head turns, faces expectant. Ryan clenches his jaw, indicating serious repercussions if I rebel. Here goes nothing. I clear my throat. Kenan. I roar. No, heck the no, heck to the yes, she mocks in a nasally tone. I don't want to see him ever again. I mutter, linking my arms firmly across my chest. She laughs heartily. What are you 5? With your pouty face and stance, sure looks like it. We will go to her parents next. So they can chew me out for losing their only daughter. I moan. Yeah, maybe. She seems amused at the prospect. It's little funny. She spreads her hands, taking them off the wheel. Picture it, Big Bad Alpha gets scolded by mate's parents. Sounds like a good headline. Hands on the wheel, I yell. How the hell did you manage to get your license? I ask. License? Oh, you mean my driver's license. She laughs breezily. I don't have one. What? I said I don't have one. I heard you. Why are you driving the car then? She shrugs. You gave me the keys. You bagged for them. She sniffs haughtily. I don't beg, and I did not beg, I argued. And you gave. I close my eyes, trying to remain calm. I'm afraid I have that effect on all the men, makes them speechless. I crack open one eye. When we get out of this car, you are so dead. Try me. She smiles, a steely glint in her vibrant blue eyes. A few close calls later, we've actually made it to Keenan's house. Remind me again why we're here. She exhales sharply through her nose as he hops out the car. She ran here once, why not do it again? I wince at her memory. Fine, but make it quick. Oh no. She opens my car door and grabs my hand, yanking me out with surprising arm strength. You're coming with me. No, I try to protest, but she'll have none of it. Continuing to yank me along behind her, she ignores me entirely. Approaching at a rapid pace, she pounds on the door. Brinley. Keenan's surprised tone makes his voice go higher as he takes sight of her on his porch. I resist the urge to chuckle. Oh, you're here too. Thanks for the warm welcome. I roll my eyes. I really have got to stop this habit of Kimbriella. Well, considering. Shut your faces. Brinley interrupts. Save your macho man brawl over your egos for another time. We're here on business. A girl pops her head through the door, her straight blonde hair swinging from its ponytail. Keenan, why didn't you mention you had a guest? She smiles brightly, extending a hand. Hi, I'm Mia Toscano, Riker Aldane. I introduce myself, shaking her hand. Brinley Reed, she says. Nice to meet you too. She turns her smiling countenance to Brinley, who looks a bit overwhelmed by her overload of peppiness. Nonetheless, they shake hands. Babe, I didn't think. Mia interrupts Keenan. Keenan, not your babe, she chides gently. Ouch. Friend zoning going on there. I could relate. Anyhow, they aren't the kind of people I want you to meet. Excuse me, Brinley arches a brow. Oh boy, here we go. Well, I've never met you, but exactly, so keep your big mouth shut. We've got questions for you. Keenan looks very taken aback at her abrasive manner. I could relate to that too. Ask away, I guess, he says. Is Kim staying here? Have you heard anything from her, seen her at all in the past 24 hours? At the mention of Kim's name, his face hardens. Nope, haven't heard a word from her since big man on campus here yanked her away. Brinley sighs. Okay, well, if you hear or see anything, call this number. She whips out a slip of paper and a pen, scribbling down a number I recognize. Hey, that's the pack house number. Pack house? Keenan wrinkles his nose. There's a lot of people that live in that house, and it's really packed, so we call it a pack house. Brinley lies smoothly. We. Keenan glances between Brinley and I. Are you guys a thing? Have you dumped Kim already? Player, him and I are definitely not a thing. You, Brinley scoffs. We're leaving. Simon Brinley. This time it's me who grabs her hand and drags her to the car. Keys, I demand. She stabs them into my hand, cutting my palm. I can take care of myself. She hisses, slipping into the car and slamming the door harshly. I get in the car, relieved to be the one driving. I start the engine and turn on the radio, attempting to break the heavy silence. Crossing her arms, face stony, she stares straight forward. Now my curiosity is burning. What is going on with this girl? Hi everyone. Real smooth. Great start. I try again, hands clammy as I clasp them together. Nice to meet you all. I get a few smiles, a few nods, as the tempo of my heartbeats increases. I'm glad to be here instead of the Aldane pack, and I'm so thankful to you all for taking me in. Except that it wasn't exactly your choice, or mine, my wolf says. I'm glad to again be a pack leader, and I hope I can lead a fraction of how well my parents did. I look around a bit. I'm not quite experienced as them, but with help of Ryan, I'll do my best. Now the crowd smiles, what now? Thank you. They all applaud politely, and slowly my heartbeats returns to normal. How quickly your confidence fades. Decker smirks. I glare at him. I think my first act as alpha will be to appoint a new beta. I muse. You can't. He smirks. It's inherited. Oh, I'll gladly take your parents back, Something shadows his face. You can't, he says, and it sounds final. I can do what I want, and you can't command me. He chuckles harshly, coldly. Seriously, even you can't. And why not? I question. Because they're dead. He growls bitterly, stabbing his fork into the wooden table so hard it sticks. Be right back. He excuses himself and stomps out of the dining room. Oh. Well. That was awkward. Don't sweat it, you couldn't have known. Cadden murmurs. I should have realized something was up. I sigh, pushing back my unruly hair. He'll be back in a minute, you'll see. Hating me even more, no doubt. I roll my eyes. Still, something seems odd. My parents were alphas, theirs betas. Both were killed. Something was definitely fishy here. So what's up with you? What do you mean, what's up with me? Even slightly getting used to her harshness, I'm taken aback all over again at the raw venom in her tone. I was only trying to help. Well, I don't need your help. In fact, I don't need anyone's help. Clearly, I mutter, leaning my head back against the headrest while carefully keeping my eyes on the road. Next time, stay out. Kay, her voice is fakely light. Why do you push away anyone who tries to help you? I mutter, rhetorically. She stiffens next to me. Why do you ask so many questions? She tries to cover her uncomfortable state. Sorry, one more. Depends on what it is. Where are we going next? Yours and Ashallan's houses. Her knuckles bulge as they tighten on the armrests. Bingo. She won't be at my house. We can check Ashallan's, though. How do you know she won't be at my house? That's more than one question. She deters me weakly. And I just do. Maybe she went there knowing it was a place no one would expect her to be. She tenses, two sides clearly warring inside her. Finally, she slumps in the passenger seat. Fine, but you stay in the car. Deal. I agree. Sure enough, Decker comes back in shortly, face in a scowl as usual. I'm sorry, I didn't know. He cuts off the apology. Save it. I press my lips together to refrain from making things worse. Then Ryan taps his spoon to his glass. I would like to propose a toast for our new Luna, who should have been our Luna long ago. The crowd murmurs in agreement before tapping glasses with one another. Decker refuses to tap glasses with me. He'll get over it, Cadden whispers. Our parents' death, or my hatred for her. Because honestly, I don't think I can ever do either. He glares at me, easily overhearing. Okay, seriously, what have I ever done to you? I throw my hands up, sick of his attitude. It's your mate's pack. That's obviously responsible for the death of both mine and your parents. How can you ever forgive him? He stares at me with disgust. Riker told me he didn't kill them. I say firmly, crossing my arms. Did he say anything about the rest of the pack? He raises his eyebrows, tone full of scorn. Well, I search for an argument. No, the thought fills me with fear and anger. Had Riker been telling the truth, but not the whole truth? That's what I thought. He smiles, a cold, hard smile. Naive girl, you shouldn't be alpha. Decker. Ryan intercedes, slamming a fist on the table. Strange that he happens to be chastising them, since he's a Delta and Decker is a Beta. You know it's true. You're only putting up with his so you can silence. He booms, and the whole room does so, even though he wasn't talking to them. Decker shifts uncomfortably. Though I have no clue what they are discussing, Decker had obviously gone too far this time. Another disturbance from you tonight, and I will not put up with your insolence any longer. The whole room gasps. Is he threatening to kill him? Yes, sir. He ducks his head, indicating deference. Even more odd. I knock on the door nervously. Seriously, what am I supposed to say? Have you seen your daughter? No. Well, just wanted to let you know she's missing from my house, though you entrusted me with her safety. Sorry. The door opens, cutting off my train of thoughts. Hey there, son. Kimbriella's father stands, holding the door open, the door that will most certainly lead to my doom in a short amount of time. Come on in. Uo, Riker, Love, come into the kitchen. Love. Now I just want to sit down and put my head in my hands, because I am an idiot. A total idiot. So what brings you here? She asks, handing me a plate with 4 warm, freshly baked cookies on top. Kimbriella's gone, Gone, her father questions. His voice begins to raise in volume. What do you mean gone? Now, honey, calm down, Mrs. Krelk soothes, putting a hand on his arm. No hope, I will not calm down. My daughter is missing. Explain yourself, he booms. Everything was going fine. Actually, no. Let me start over. She was crazy stubborn. I smile wistfully at the memory. Didn't want to get near me with a 20-foot pole, refused all contact with me, and even tried to reject me. Her father smiles proudly at this. Sounds like my girl. Yeah, I offer a pained smile. She eventually began to warm up to me, and a day or two ago things were going great. Better than great, actually. Perfect. And then I proposed. You what? What did she say? She refused, tore out of the room and wouldn't come out. She told me she really was going to reject me, in front of the whole pack, and to be the next day. She basically told me she wanted nothing to do with me ever again, aside from the rejection. The next morning she was gone. A piece of advice for you, son. Never propose unless you know what she's going to say. Thanks, I say dryly. But we haven't seen her, Riker. He shakes his head. But we'll keep a lookout. You're not mad? I ask, disbelieving. Both parents laugh heartily. No, love. Mrs. Krelk chuckles. If Kim makes up her mind to do something, nobody's going to stop her. Thank you, Mayim. Sir, don't call me Mayim, it makes me feel old. Mrs. Krelk scolds me. You still have to call me sir. Mr. Krelk remarks dourly. Oh, okay. I murmur. Now go find our daughter and bring her back, or I might have to kill you. Thank you, I say. I open the door and step outside. Brinley gapes at me from the car. How are you still alive? They like me. I smile smugly. If only I could say the same. She rolls her eyes. They like me. I smile smugly. If only I could say the same. She rolls her eyes. Hey, what? You know, how does your boyfriend manage to put up with you? She gets all quiet. I don't have a boyfriend. I've never had a boyfriend. What? I scan her quickly. Of course, the only one I care about, the only one I'll ever care about like that is Kimbriella. But you couldn't deny that Brinley was pretty. Surely some guy offered to take you to prom. I never said people didn't. That doesn't mean I would say yes. Now shut up and drive. She glares fiercely at me. I raise my hands in surrender. Okay, geez, calm down, we're going. I pull out the driveway. Time to give me directions to your house. Yippee, she says grimly. After the long, awkward dinner finishes, Ryan guides me to a huge room, with dark, forest green walls and mahogany furniture. A 4-posted bed sits in the center of the room, a night table next to it. There's a dresser, and it connects to the walk-in closet I visited earlier. Wow, this is pretty. I remark, gazing around the room. It's the finest room. It's only fitting that you should have it. I say, though it isn't really a reply at all. He doesn't take the cue to leave. As Alpha here, you'll have everything you ever wished for. Except Riker, I murmur quietly. Of course, he hears. Everybody always overhears. You don't need that weak, stupid fool. That weak, stupid fool is my mate. You don't need him. You do realize if I'm away from him for too long, I literally won't be able to survive. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. He growls, expression strict. Go to bed. Good night, I say firmly, waiting until he leaves before shutting and locking the door. I meander over to the plush bed, also mahogany. The house is gorgeous, and I can just imagine sharing this bed with Riker. If the packs were united, like we had hoped to soon accomplish with my marriage, this wouldn't have happened. If I had been such a stubborn fool, maybe Riker could be here, and I could be pregnant with his pups. Whoa. Where did that train of thought come from? Still, I can't deny that the thoughts fill me with happiness. Who would have ever thought I'd go so soft? A few months ago, I was determined to never even talk to him, but look at me now. I'd do anything to see him again. Riker, where are you? I ask the empty room. Riker pulls into the driveway of the small, 2-story house and stops. The memories all rush back. I put my elbows on my knees and cup my face into my hands, pushing my hair away. Hey, if you don't want to go. I'll go. He begins to get out of the car. No, I shriek loudly. He winces and freezes in place. No, I correct myself, speaking more calmly. I'm going, stay here. Shutting the car door, I march up the steps. Snatching the spare key from under the loose stone that lines our house, I enter my childhood home. Mother dearest, I'm home, I call sarcastically. In the kitchen, she yells, ignoring the sarcasm. Sitting at the kitchen counter is my mom. And my dad. Dad, I say, rubbing my eyes. I can't believe it. What the heck is he doing here? What do you think gives you the right to be here? Get out. I can't believe my eyes. How dare he have the nerve to show up after 7 years? Brinley, he smiles and opens his arms as if for a hug. My baby girl. You've grown so big since you were 11. Explain yourself or leave. I spit. Brinley, be nice to your father. My mother chastises. Why, I growl. Why should I, and how can you be so forgiving? I'm sober now, I swear. Have been for a year, he informs me as if I care. Gambled away any house lately. Brinley, my mother protests. I whirl on her. Mom, if you think he's really sober, really stopped gambling, then you're a fool. You're a naive, stupid fool. She gasps and holds a hand to her mouth. Don't talk to your mother like that, as if you have any authority over me. You haven't been there for me, for us, in 7 years, and in all honesty, a while before that. Besides, Mom can take it, can't she? You tell him, Mom, you're on the girls. Brinley, honey, that's not fair. No, Mom. What's not fair is that you think you can hang with me and my friends and party like a teenage girl, instead of dealing with things that actually need to be dealt with, like the bills. I didn't need a friend. I needed a mother, and you were never there. My throat and eyes burn, sure signs of coming tears. You were never there. Yep. The hot, wet, salty tears stream out of my eyes and down my face. And you know what? I'm done with you, and this stupid thing with Dad is just... Ugh, I'm leaving, moving out. For good. Enjoy your happy life together, I scream. Ignoring their cries of wait, and stop. I run away, out of the front door and past the car. No way Riker is seeing me like this. It seemed like Brinley had some family problems to work out, so I might be waiting a while. I close my eyes and, leaning back, maybe take a quick nap. When my sensitive ears pick up the sound of yelling from inside. All of a sudden, the door flies open and Brinley runs out. I assume that my eyes deceive me when I see her crying, but as she runs right past my window, I can see with perfect clarity the tear tracks streaking down her face. I open the door and begin to chase her. Brinley. I yell. Go away, she yells, voice choked up. Just explain what happened. Wrong thing to say. Sides heaving, she runs even faster while crying even harder. Panting now, I huff in irritation, then feel bad. I'm concerned about finding Kimbriella when her friend is clearly hurting. Then again, I suck at comforting people. Kimbriella was fairly easy. Stop chasing me, god damn it, you stupid mutt. Ouch. Even crying, she loves insulting me. I'm gaining and gaining fast. Brinley, please stop. I grab her arm, finally catching up. It jerks her to a halt. Get off me. She sobs, puddling to a heap on the ground. Nervously, I glance around the unfamiliar streets. People are starting to stare. Quickly, I sling her over my shoulder and begin to carry her back to the car. Put me down, she screams, attracting more attention. Help, help, I speed up, needing to get to the car. I set her down in the truck before getting in myself. I peel out of the driveway and go about twice the speed limit down the road. After about 10 minutes of furious driving, I calm down and begin to find my way back to the house. I really hate you, you know that. Brinley sniffles, no longer crying but with red, puffy eyes. I know, I mumble. I stare at it, twisting and turning my hand so the sparkle catches the light. The shininess of the diamond is blinding on my finger. The gorgeous but simple silver band fits my finger perfectly. The door opens, and I yank the ring off, clutching it, hidden in my palm. No sense wishing for things that will never happen. I chide myself silently. It's Ryan. Get up and be down in 5, we've got places to go. He says, then shuts the door and leaves again. Annoyed with his succinct instructions and bad-tempered tone, I get grouchily out of bed and go into the walk-in closet. It takes some digging, but I find a pair of sweatpants Capris and a nice, casual t-shirt. Leaving the room, I head downstairs, stomach growling. He pops out of nowhere and grabs my arm as I walk into the kitchen, scaring me. No time for breakfast, let's go. I stare at his hand and pluck it off. There's always time for breakfast. Seeing my determined expression, he only sighs. As you wish, Alpha. A bowl of cereal later, I'm less annoyed with everything. Not happy, but not grouchy. Okay, so where are we going? To meet some people. Cadden and Decker appear out of an adjoining room. Ugh, I moan quietly. Not happy to see you either. Decker glares at me. Be civil. Ryan glares at us both. We glare at each other. Cadden rolls his eyes before motioning us to follow. They shift with no problem, tearing out of their clothes. However, I'm rather attached to these, as I don't think there's another pair of sweatpants Capris in the whole closet. Turn around. Each wolf cocks their heads inquisitively. Decker and Cadden's wolves are just as identical as their human forms, their brown coats similar to their hair color. Ryan is menacing black with amber eyes that freak me out. Well, you heard me. Turn around. Each wolf whimpers and turns around, quickly stripping and rolling the clothes into a makeshift bundle. I shift. Snatching them up in my mouth, I bump into them to indicate we can start. Ryan takes the lead, Decker and Cadden flanking him on either side. For some reason, it bothers me that I'm not in the lead. Running more quickly, I snarl and shoulder Decker out of the way so I'm even with Ryan. Decker growls but backs off. Ryan lets out a creepy guttural noise that I swear is supposed to be a laugh and gives me an approving look. I hiss at him to let him know the only reason he has any semblance of control is because I don't know where we're going, and he looks away. I keep exactly equal pace, refusing to give up any ground to him. Finally, we arrive at a giant mansion, probably another pack house. Fabulous. I cut the engine, expecting Brinley to dash out. Instead, she just sits there, which makes me even more nervous. I can't predict what she's going to do anymore. Let's go inside, I offer. No, they'll see me cry. Oh, honey, I murmur, extending my arms. I mentally facepalm myself for being so stupid, but she falls into them, sobbing once again. I can feel the wetness of her tears through my shirt. To be honest, I have not a clue as to where the honey came from, or this stupid sensitive side to me. We sit there, her crying for a good 30 minutes before she sits up, ready to go inside. I ask carefully, astonished at the size of the wet spot on my shirt. No, I still look like I've been crying. She mutters, swiping at her eyes. Here, I've got a plan. We enter the house. This is ridiculous, she hisses. It'll work, you'll see. I guide her around since she can't really see. Since I didn't really want to walk in with a giant wet spot on my shirt, and she didn't want to look like she was crying. It was the perfect solution. Just cover your face. I can't see her eyes, but I'm pretty sure she rolls them. What does it look like I'm doing? She clutches my shirt to her face, while I go shirtless. Everybody moves, giving us weird looks but not questioning at all. I help her upstairs. We reach the bathroom, and I shut the door. She takes the shirt off her face, and the moment we make eye contact, we both start cracking up helplessly. Goddess, we are so stupid. I giggle like a teenage girl. Speak for yourself. She snorts, clutching the door handle for balance. Hey, can I ask you something? She quickly gets serious. Sure, would you? Could I stay here, like for a while? I hate to impose, but... Hey now, I shush her. You don't have to explain a thing. You can stay for as long as you need to. Thanks. She turns away. I change in a small copse of trees, then follow Ryan into the pack house. It's smallish for a pack house, and a balding, middle-aged man comes to greet us. Ryan. He bows his head, indicating deference as if he were an alpha. Miss Kim. He ducks his head again. See here, mister. Yalder, we don't want any trouble, just the support of you pack against her mates, who almost forced her into an unwanted marriage. But I don't have to explain, I'm sure you'll agree. Yes, of course. The short, fat man agrees rapidly. I'll be in touch. Ryan grins, a scary thing more like the baring of teeth than a smile, and exits. I pace the hallway outside my room. It's been 3 months. Where could she be? If I knew, I would tell you, Brinley says dryly, rolling her eyes. Not helping. I growl, yanking tufts of my hair. Careful, Kim won't like it if you're bald. Still not helping. Well, sorry ye, we've checked every logical place. Where could she be? I don't know, she murmurs quietly. The next 2 pack houses are exactly the same, run by wolves, clearly terrified of Ryan. They easily bend to his will, these poor excuses for alphas, and I can't help my contempt, though I know they must have reason. I sigh inwardly at this failure. Even Riker's pack won't be able to go up against the size of my almost equal pack, along with all these others. I change behind a particularly pretty bush, after commanding everyone to look away, again. I knock on the front door, and a smiling lady answers. She has black hair cut just above her jawline that accentuates the pointed shape of her face. The hair is mostly straight, but it curls up at the end, almost cartoon-like. Her face is naturally darker, but I can tell she doesn't go outside a lot. She's middle height, about 3 inches taller than me, and skinny but not overly so. Hello, I say, glancing over the top of her shoulder. We're looking for the alpha. That would be me. She narrows her eyes, smile disappearing. She has a bit of a Spanish accent, pleasant to listen to. Oh, awkward. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. It is okay, everyone always makes the same mistake. She sounds tired. Come in, thank you, I say, but she doesn't even seem to hear. Someone grab 3 pairs of men's shorts. She calls, and almost instantly we have 3 pairs of shorts. I squeeze my eyes, shut as Ryan, Cadden and Decker shift back. The lady chuckles. So innocent, no. You are of alpha blood, surely you have found your mate and mated. I wince. Well, I have a mate, but no, we haven't. Ryan smiles creepily at this statement. Cadden stares awkwardly at the ground, and Decker snickers. Oh dear, she frowns. Well, you and I will have a talk about that once we are done with business. Oh, I search for words, but none come. Decker snickers again, and Ryan interrupts smoothly. You see, that is our dilemma. Her mate's pack is enemies with her own and took her as a peace offering, essentially. She hates him and his pack, and we're enlisting the help of other packs attacks his. We are, I squeak. I can barely find my voice for sudden fear of Riker's safety. Yes, we are, he says firmly. Oh, no, she shakes her head vigorously. That cannot be. I do not believe it for a second. No matter how much you are enemies, you nor any wolf would ever be cruel enough to want to kill their mate. He killed her parents, and the parents of these wolves. He clears his throat. Our pack's betas. He's bloodthirsty and almost successfully seduced Kim here into being his mate, and he needs to be stopped. She ponders this. Is this true? If so, I can promise my pack's assistance. Yes, it's true, Ryan nods. No, fool, she shakes her head. I need to hear it from the girl. Tell her, Kim. Ryan growls into my ear, his tone menacing. It's I, seeing my dilemma. Ryan sharply pinches my hand. I let out a small yelp of pain, but it does the job. It's the truth, I say, sounding more confident than I feel. She eyes me suspiciously. All right, she nods and notices the way my face falls when she says this, but I need to speak with the girl alone. Ryan nods and gives me a hard, threatening stare. Trying not to show my fear, I follow the woman. She leads me into an office and shuts the door, cutting straight to the chase. I know you are lying, and no, you don't have to lie to me. You can deny it all you want, and yet I will still know the truth. I do not know under what circumstance they have threatened or bribed or forced you into this, but I will help you. Who is your mate? R. Riker Aldane. Where are you staying while captured by that evil man? She asks, narrowing her eyes at even the mere mention of Ryan. My old pack house, Canterbury pack house. I will get word to him, she promises. Go now or he will suspect. Thank you. I whisper and clash out of the room, inwardly bursting with joy. My mate is coming, and he will finally be able to rescue me. It's hard to keep the smile off my face, but I manage to do it. seeing Decker's and Ryan's faces. I'm assuming you were a good little wolf and didn't say anything you weren't supposed to. Ryan cocks his head threateningly. I nod, trying to look miserable. He appraises me for a second. Good, he says, seeming to believe me. And where is that woman? She'll be out in a second, I think. Sure enough, she walks out of her office. So can we count on your support? He asks. I can clearly see now that this is a test. Of course, she says smoothly, not missing a beat. Keep in contact. I have to refrain from letting out a sigh of relief. Fantastic, he murmurs with that creepy smile that isn't really a smile. We'll be seeing you then. I don't even look at her as I leave for fear of exposing the plot. Right then, I realize I never asked her name. But it was too late now. Ryan's firm, cold hand on my back ensures that. Are we visiting any more pack houses? No, he growls shortly. We'd begun garnering support even before you came to us. My eyes widen. How long had this plot been going on? Ready to shift? Decker asks, unbuttoning his shorts. I turn away. Yeah, I reply, but right at that moment I'm hit with an excruciating pain in the center of my chest. Og. I moan, crumpling to my knees. What is it? Ryan demands, dropping to the ground beside me. It hurts. I whimper, the only words I'm able to form. Where? What hurts? I hold my hand to the area right below my heart. It's like heartburn. I choke out, the excruciating pain causing black spots to flit in and out of my vision. It's because she's been away from Riker for so long. Cadden mutters. Don't say his name. Ryan explodes but quickly calms down as I scream, writhing in pain. I believe it'll pass in a bit. It'll only get worse, Cadden warns. Worse, this is bad enough. We'll figure something out. Ryan waves away his concerns. For now, I'll carry her. Please don't. I manage to say, and he glares at me. You'd better get comfortable around me, because soon enough we'll be real close. He chuckles, morphing into his wolf form. What? I freeze, momentarily forgetting my pain. Decker sets me on Ryan's back. The pain is starting to subside, but I don't know when it'll come back. I have a pounding headache. The only thing that keeps me sane is the thought of Riker finally coming. Why no, we have to consider the possibility that maybe she's not alive. Just saying the words is painful. No, Brinley shakes her head. Don't say things like that. Then where could she be? I explode. We've checked everywhere. Not everywhere. Everywhere is logical. Her smart-aleck mouth only increases the urge to break something. Suddenly, a pain blossoms into my chest. I groan, sinking slowly to the floor, gripping my chest. What? Brinley peers at me, then realizes something is seriously wrong. Do you need the pack doctor? I shake my head. What hurts? It's right here. I say, indicating the area of my chest I'm clutching. It burns. Are you sure you don't need medical assistance? I don't know, I can't think straight. Give me a minute or two. She gives me 4, and only then does the pain begin to lessen. What was that? She raises her eyebrows. I think that was me and Kimbriella being apart for too long. I mutter, rubbing at my chest. Well, this means she's alive, right? Brinley looks at me hopefully. Yeah, I guess it does. I nod. The sound of the phone ringing piques my curiosity. No one actually calls the pack house. We go downstairs to see who it is, waving away the others who move to pick up the phone. Hello, Aldane residents. I almost laugh at my stupid greeting. I know where your mate is. I swear if you have her, I will hunt you down and slow down there. I didn't take her, I'm helping her. Do you know Ryan Homelock? Warning bells in my head clang so loudly I'm sure everybody standing around pretending not to eavesdrop can hear it. Yeah, I growl. I know that guy, he has her. Where? Her old pack house. The Canterbury pack house. I want to scream and jump for joy and hit myself in the face all at the same time. Why hadn't I thought to check there? Thank you so much. We're forever in debt to you. Say, what's your name? I ask, but only get a steady buzz of sound. She's hung up. I would call back, but I don't have time to worry about this now. Pack meeting at once. I bellow to anyone in earshot. I wait impatiently for everyone to arrive. Probably hearing the urgency in my howl, Everyone arrives more quickly than usual, gathering within 15 minutes. What is it? Elysian questions breathlessly, letting a Shallan down from his back. We got here as quickly as we could. I'll explain it in a second. I look over his disheveled appearance quickly. Just so you know, you might want to flatten your hair, and your shirt is on inside out. Both a Shallan and a Listen blush furiously, and he quickly fixes his shirt, while a Shallan lovingly smooths his hair. Thanks, he grins. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Trey helping Cynthia up onto the stage of sorts we have here. I wonder if she's injured. Anytime, I roll my eyes. The pack is waiting for me to address them, so I step up to the front. I have just received an anonymous phone call disclosing the location of my mate, Kimbriella. I'd like to attack tonight. A buzz spreads throughout the crowd. I know it seems hasty, but I clear my throat. She means a lot to me. There are a few ahs and catcalls at this. And this pack needs a Luna, and we need that alliance with the Canterbury pack. Also, I've starting experiencing the pain of withdrawal, and it sets in quickly. I'd like to fight before I'm further weakened. Elysian nods, bowing his head and backing away. We spend the next few hours organizing, talking battle strategy, and planning. I'm so relieved to be doing something besides sitting around and waiting for news, or hopelessly searching. We plan until it's almost time to leave. Ready. I call in my alpha voice, commanding everyone to be ready, to stand with me. The pack howls in response, and I shift as well, my dark gray wolf fur bristling. I begin to run, and they all follow. We're ready to rescue my beloved mate. When we get back to the pack house, and Ryan, Decker, and Cadden all shift back, I have some serious questions for them all. Sit down. I command using a strict voice. To my surprise, they all listen. I give them a weird look, cocking my head. Okay, why did that actually work? Stupid alpha voice, Decker mutters. Okay, so why do you keep lying to all the packs? Like, what the heck is your grudge? And why are you leader instead of Decker and Cadden? And what is this secret plan you keep hinting at? At this moment, a female wolf runs through the door. She shifts back, and I wince, turning away and shielding my eyes while throwing a blanket at her that was laying on the nearby couch. GRRR, I glare at the ground. Sir, the Aldane pack has somehow located your whereabouts and are currently leading an attack against you. I estimate you have about an hour before their arrival. You were a part of my pack, I question her. Menacingly. She flinches at my tone. Yes, ma'am. I stop for a moment, seemingly calm, before springing at her and hitting her straight in the nose. You traitor. I snarl, holding nothing back as I strike her face. After 3 strikes, she crumples to the ground, and Ryan grabs me by the waist, throwing me against the back of the couch. My head hits the corner, which is weakly padded, sending a flurry of dark spots through my vision. Terribly, at this moment, the pains start up again coming from deep inside my chest. Ugh, I moan, curling into a ball and hugging myself, as if that would take the pain away. Thank you, I hear Ryan say calmly. Now Cadden and Decker take her while she's vulnerable. New, I hiss, flailing out wildly. My foot connects with something that kind of feels like a jaw, and my wrist connects with an elbow, which probably hurts me more than it hurts whoever's elbow I just hit. More pain shoots up my arm. I try to summon the strength to shift, but I can't focus through the pain, and I have no energy left. One blurry figure stumbles back, cursing, face bleeding. Cadden. Oops. Just give up already. Why do you keep fighting? Decker growls, digging his nails into the back of my calf to get a better grip, his other hand encircling my ankle. Because I have a mate, something you wouldn't understand, and I have a mind and will of my own, something you also wouldn't understand. I choke out. I feel slightly accomplished with this little speech. Shut up, he says. Ryan comes over. Can you not subdue a half-unconscious weakling? Ryan yells. I hear a loud smacking noise, feeling detached from reality, floating on a river of pain. I faintly feel myself being lifted. However, reality comes rushing back when my arm slams against some hard surface. I can literally feel the bones separating and shattering. I let out a desperate, wailing, high-pitched scream a sound so awful I can't believe it comes from me. I want nothing more than to pass out, to succumb to the pain, but I know as soon as I'm unconscious, I'm gone to somewhere Riker won't be. Mercifully, the pain from deep inside caused by lack of Riker subsides, and I can actually think again. I sweep my gaze around the room. The girl I attacked is puddled in a heap on the floor. Cadden is in the corner trying to get his face to stop bleeding. Decker is slumped against the wall with a bleeding head. And Ryan. Well, Ryan is staring at me, murderously. If you give up, I'll spare him. Not 1 inch of him will be harmed, nor anyone in your pack, he promises seductively. We don't even clarify who him is. Of course it's Riker. Who else would it be? I have to admit, it's tempting. But I realize how selfish I was to leave Riker without consulting him, how stupid and naive. And I won't make that mistake ever again. Never. I whisper, my voice coming out low and harsh. What do you really want? Be my bride. Why? Out of the many, many scenarios I had imagined, this is not one of them. Not for you, he smirks. Oh no, I don't care about you. I want the power you bring. Huh, he huffs at my confusion. I would become Alpha, he explains, annoyed expression on his face. And I could always arrange to get rid of you later. I gape at him. You evil, awful yes, he cackles. I know, and if you won't cooperate, then I'll have to make you cooperate. What's that supposed to mean? Decker, Cadden, I'll help you carry her to something clicks in my brain. Hold up. I gasp, everything is falling into place. You did it. Did what? Ryan looks confused but nervous. You killed them. You killed my parents, and there's 2. The expression on his face gives him away. You monster, I whisper, not even able to look him in the eye. The man who killed 4 wolves in power above him, so that he could be Alpha. It was disgusting. We're getting closer, over halfway there. I mind-link the pack. I wish that I had set one up with Kimbriella beforehand, or none of this would ever happened. But there was no sense in dwelling in the past, when I had to chance to rescue her now. Alpha, Alyssum mind-links me hesitantly. It's fortunate that high-ranking members of the pack can set up their own personal mind-links without alerting the rest of the pack, because I can immediately tell that something is wrong. I just learned from the foster family that their daughter is missing. I think she could be a spy, and they could, at the least, be prepared for our arrival. At the worst, Kim is long gone. I release a long stream of expletives into the mind link, making Alyssum wince. Growling, I inform the rest of the pack to speed up. It feels good when they obey, trusting, instead of questioning my order. Out of nowhere, I stumble as the pain from earlier returns. It's all I can do not to collapse, but I can't stop. I won't stop. Riker, everything all right, Alyssum says, or rather thinks, sounding concerned. MHM, I grunt. He silently moves over, offering a shoulder. I bristle with offense and move away. I don't need help. Of course, as soon as I do this, a stronger wave of pain hits and I stagger as I run, smashing into him sideways. He quickly braces to support me, helping me run. We've slowed back down to accommodate me, and this is unacceptable. Alyssum, help me go faster. That's a terrible idea, Riker. He informs me, doing it anyway. We begin to pick up the pace again. Steadily, I increase speed, trying and failing to ignore the pain. I try to picture the face of my mate, using to spur me on. There on top of a hill she stands. My beautiful, strong mate. I bound forward, pain forgotten but still there. I reach her. And go through her. My hind legs collapse from under me. Well, that explains why the pain didn't subside. The stupid pain, causing cruel hallucinations, and playing with my emotions. The pain takes hold, stronger than before, and I whimper before I can steel myself, praying that no one heard my moment of weakness. Stop, Alyssum says, causing the pack to a halt. Normally I would be furious, but I have no strength to be angry. I try to move, to find my feet, but Alyssum's strong paw holds me down. Release me, I say commandingly. I can sense his internal struggle, what he believes is right versus his duty to me as Alpha. After a few moments, his willpower wins. You'll recover faster if you don't fight it, and be stronger for the battle. He argues, logical as always, a perfect balance to my impulsive nature, as most alpha/beta pairs tend to be. I reluctantly wait for the pain to stop, impatient. It takes 3 more minutes for it to disappear. I spring up with a snarl, sprinting down from the hill and not bothering to warn anyone. They'll catch up soon enough. Determined, I push my legs to move as fast as they can. I must reach her, and if she's already gone. My legs feel weak again at the thought. I push that thought out of my mind and focus on the running. Please tell me she's saying this as a cruel, sick joke, and the reason you aren't denying it is because it's such a ridiculous claim that you don't even feel the need to acknowledge it. Decker unplasters himself from the wall, still clutching his face. Ryan shrugs, not bothering to deny anything. I shift uncomfortably as the bones rearrange themselves in my arm. I think you know the truth, but how could you? How could you lie, pin it on the Aldane pack? Ryan laughs coldly. It wasn't that hard. You wanted to believe it, had been brought up with that hatred. It was simple matter to make you believe it. I think you owe me an apology. I sing-song, giving Decker a pointed look. I hide my grimace as the majority of the bone fragments snap back in place. Because this is a great time for that. Cadden speaks up, hiding his sarcastic smile. I glare at him. There will be no apologies. Since you know my plan, you all must die, he declares without remorse, shifting without warning. I dive out of the way as the intimidating black wolf springs at me. I barely make it out of the way, his claws raking across the right side of my face as I dive left, seeking the protection, little though it may be, of the couch. I hiss as I press my fingers to my face, and they come away red and bloody. On the bright side, the last small portion of my arm clicks back into place, and I can relax a little. Oh, wait, no I can't, because Riker is coming for me again. A little help would be great. I yell before shifting as I roll away. My light gray fur bristles as I growl at him, baring my teeth viciously. He stands his ground, growling back. I make the first move, swiping at his face with a paw. The more experienced fighter by far, he sees this coming and bites my paw, making me yelp in pain. As he moves to attack me again, Decker leaps in from behind, attacking him with a scary frenzy that I definitely would not want directed toward me. I almost feel sympathetic for Ryan as he goes down beneath the claws of Cadden. That is, until he rears up, bleeding but strong enough to throw Decker of his back. I move in to attack Ryan, and tear into his side with my claws, digging out his flesh. I move in to attack Ryan. I tear into his side with my claws, digging out flesh. He lets out an ear-splitting howl, thrashing out in all directions and knocking both me and Cadden backwards. Decker tries to rejoin the fight, but Ryan sees him coming and whips around, biting him in the side. Gushing blood, Decker whimpers and backs off. A noise outside alerts Cadden, Decker, and I that something is up. We all glance out the window, keeping at least half an eye on Ryan at all times, who possesses a wolfish smirk. It's the entirety of the Canterbury pack, preparing to run out to battle over what's actually a huge, terrible plot orchestrated by the evil soul of Ryan Homelock. I nod to Cadden and Decker to keep him occupied and dash upstairs. Once I reach the walk-in closet, I shift, grabbing the first things that I see, which fortunately happens to be semi-battle appropriate. Then I sprint back down, ignoring the living room battle and running outside as quickly as possible. It seems stupid to pause this potentially destructive, life-threatening situation to put on clothes, but this is a job I need to do as a human, while hoping I don't get killed. When I get outside, the whole pack is already gone. Great. Looking instinctively to the right, I see Riker's pack, my pack, in the near distance, and closing in the other direction, the Canterbury pack, also sort of my pack, ready to battle it out. Which means I have pretty much no time. Lungs burning, I pump my legs and arms faster than seems possible as I sprint to prevent this deadly battle. I send rapid-fire instructions through the mind link about the impending battle. But movement out of the corner of my peripheral vision catches my attention. My head immediately snaps in that direction, and it's Kimbriella. Without any consent of my brain, which perhaps temporarily malfunction, my legs swerve to cut in front of everyone and avoid the oncoming attack, instead taking me directly to her. I can faintly hear her calling something to me. It sounds like, "Get on your back and let me ride you." Well, that was forward. I glance around. Why would she want to? Mate. When so many wolves were present. Nonetheless, my hormones begin to rampage a little bit out of control. That is, until I hear what she is actually saying. "Let me get on your back and ride you." Oh, well, that was misinterpreted. I'm glad she doesn't see me blushing, though you can't tell. What this girl does to me, I mourn silently. Whipped, my wolf snickers. As I bend over for her to leap onto my back, relishing the feel of her again, the scent of her. My wolf, Sawyer, sighs in happiness. G-O-O-O-O-O. She screams in my ear, snapping me out of my elation and reverie. I start forward. To the dang battle. What? No way was I taking her into battle. She must notice my hesitation, because she whacks my ear and kicks my sides as if she's riding a horse. "You have to trust me. Hurry up." I oblige, however reluctant I am on the inside, sprinting forward at top speed to the very center where the battle is about to take place. We end up in the very center of the two sides that are about to converge on us and shred us to pieces. Kimbriella launches herself off me and into the very heart of the battle. I'm about to panic and rush in to snatch her back. She raises her voice. "Stop. This is the most power I have ever heard poured into one word." This single word is so commanding. Even I am almost overcome with a sudden urge to submit. Dang, she was powerful. Everyone freezes, not shifting an inch. This whole thing is a mistake. Ryan forced me to lie to all of you. Riker is not abusive mate, and I love him. My insides do some weird things at this statement, making me want to go to her. Right now. Nor were they the ones who killed my parents. That was the doing of Ryan Homelock, and I have 2 witnesses beside myself to prove this, if you wish to hear their testimonies. It's Decker and Cadden, the betas of the Canterbury pack, whose parents were also murdered by the same man. Wild murmurs spread like wildfire among both packs. So back off, there will be no battle, and I totally agree. That is, until a bloody, wounded wolf sidles up next to me and slashes my side with his claws deeply. I howl in pain and stumble away. Kimbriella's eyes widen with recognition. "Ryan," she whispers, fury attached to the very name of the man. To my surprise, wolves from both packs flood in to